Light in the dark, I got a 2-chambered heart. Don't always listen when you talk. We was wishing upon a star.
I've just landed. Real enough that this battleground will remember.
I'm bringing the static. She see the world respect. I follow with my soul connect. Hey,
And I'm out in a storm, I still come aiming, I crush it in rain. Whoa. No fear, every step I claim, face strong, not a thing I change. Staying in my lane.
내가 선택한 플레이. 정해진 룰은 없어. 내가 정해. 그게 바로 G-Dragon. Battleground.
A new collaboration, movable death boxes, and some changes to Miramar. All this and more as we dive into the update 37.2 patch report. First up, the desert's about to heat up again with a visit from the iconic artist G-Dragon. You'll be able to find an emote stage on the starting island. Special G-Dragon map decor such as a decked out gas station and fan room, and other themed visuals such as planes, blue chip towers, and care packages. And be sure to head over to the G-Dragon truck stop to immerse yourself in the recreated Power music video set. Next up, we're improving the way you interact with some of the objects around the map. You'll now be able to reposition death boxes to get them to a safer location before looting, or use them to lure unsuspecting loot goblins to their demise. Doors can now be opened inward as well as outward, and all those gas tanks you've been wanting to shoot for years will now explode when you do so, leaving behind a large cloud of smoke to cover your movements. More details on where you can see these changes in the patch notes. And speaking of Miramar, the Minas Generalis area has gotten an overhaul this update as well. We've streamlined building layouts for more efficient looting, added more item spawn locations, simplified the terrain and structures, and balanced out the engagements between high and low ground in the area. There's also a new Survivor Pass, the return of Survivors Left Behind and Hungers Left Behind, some updates to Team Deathmatch and Intense Battle Royale, and more. So check out the patch notes for full details. Update 37.2 is here, so drop into Miramar, stack those death boxes high, and kick back with some G-Dragon hits. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Welcome back, everyone, to day number 2, week number 13 of the PUBG Player Cup. I'm Mark Power, joined by the amazing Koho, and what a day to join Koho. Why? Because it's the amazing patch day. Lots of new changes, lots of things coming out, and it'd be interesting to see how some of these players react to these changes, because we're still looking for a top 4, mate.
Yeah, I mean, they can't get that out of their sight, right? The tournament's proceeding, and we have had massive games yesterday. We have teams who are almost locking themselves in already for that top 4 that we're looking for. But yeah, I don't think it's a as big of a patch as the last few, but it's still impactful. We'll talk about it in a second. Things are still changing. The game is changing at a pretty rapid pace at the moment. And I mean, there's some things like collaborations for skins that aren't super relevant to the tournament. There's other things that we think could be making an impact today.
Don't take the mick out of my skins, Carl. I love a good skin, you know me. But yeah, we've got the XG Dragon comp up with PUBG, so you'll notice on Miramar bits and pieces there are obviously new items that are lurking their way around, and obviously the drops, etc. But what you're alluding to is the features that we've had some science that me and you have just been doing for the last 10 minutes or less to try and figure out exactly what the ins and outs are. And I definitely think it's worth talking about. Maybe the obvious one to start with, and I want to talk about things like the loot box, right? The ability to be able to pick up the loot box and move it. We have done a bit of science. And you can't put it in the back of a car, so proven that bit. But this could actually really change about how people maybe gather loot, one, but also how they could potentially defend the compound, right?
Yeah, I think the main thing where that comes into play is maybe late game if you're edge of zone, right? And you have to carry some loot in to keep it available for a teammate who's not had time to heal or something. Maybe some very niche case scenarios. But also, if you get breached in the compound and you defend it, then suddenly you have 4 loot boxes and you can structure them whichever way you want to. It's just... obviously, I had to try it because I wasn't 100% sure, but you cannot put items in the loot boxes, right? So it's not like you can carry the box around and make one box that only has nades or one box that only has bullets. That's going to be hard to pull off unless your enemies do that for you before they die. But you can still make sure that you have backup loot in the rooms where you want to have it, for example. Yeah.
I think that's going to be really interesting to see how it kind of develops and how people adapt, because my thought process is actually on my mind it goes to things like recalls. Like we've seen teams and players kind of lose a body, they've got the chip, well this time they can actually carry the box, right? Take the box to if they're close to as close as they can. I also really like, I'm going to give him a shout out, Pixel. I love PUBG have made an anti-pixel update where you can open a door both ways. So if you have the bike, you can try to stack people in. Pixel, PUBG beats you in the end. That's enough of that. Let's talk about the leaderboard. So we've done 4 games already. We have 4 more that are going to be up for grabs, and it's all the 4s because we're only looking for a top 4 to go through. We closed off yesterday there with FaZe on top. FaZe feel like they're back and swinging with 59 points. But a lot of the other teams didn't want to lose sight of them. Skittles 43, Bushido on 35, and 888 sliding in the last game with 33.
Yeah, I think that is the pack at the top towards Twisted Minds there, who are in the immediate or most immediate contention at the moment. But we've seen this yesterday, right? One good game for this, for example, and they're immediately up there. They didn't even win it, but they still pushed themselves very close to that top pack. And anybody that's on the leaderboard at the moment can do it. These are the 8 teams who have already qualified. Just circled in gold are the teams that have already made it to the last chance qualifier. They have already made it to that stage where you qualify for the Masters West. And today, all those slots that have a week 1 below them are the slots we're giving away.
Yeah, so week 1, obviously the 4 on the left-hand side, as we just said, they were the ones that we're looking for, that top 4. And then obviously we'll come back again next week to obviously contend out for those final 4. It's worth noting, obviously, these the top 8 to qualify through Masters 3. They were top 8 based upon their points that were selected from 1, 2, and 3. That's why if you're looking back at Masters 3, it's like, oh, well, this team was 8-8, for example, came in the top 8, but they're back here fighting. So the collaboration of points, it does mean that these total 16 teams will go through to the next stage, which is the Masters Last Chance, where we will fight out for the top 8 teams there. So these teams, plus this week, plus next week, will fight out for the top 8 slots that will eventually, at the end of the circuit, the final battleground, which is going to be 8 of the EMEA versus 8 of the Americas. Now, that there I'm waiting for. It's going to be pretty explosive, I think.
Oh, for sure. That's the big one. That's the big one that closes out the season. We almost didn't get finished talking about the patch. I'm excited for the C4 nerf as well. We have a reduction in damage. We have an increase in the beeping sound, so it should be a little more easy. And you should hear it maybe a second early or something like that. So that should change things. And yeah, I think the door thing, that is gonna be for people with really fast minds, because I'm already, if I have to press H instead of F, I'm already struggling. But it's anti those strats, but it's also sometimes you you don't want to give somebody the chance to hide behind the door, and you swing it your way. You have a different entrance to the room, so there's a bit of a tactical element to it, and that should be pretty exciting. But that's definitely going to take a while until people really get down to getting the most out of that feature.
That's what we like. I suppose you're very technical. When we talk about the loot box stuff, right? I instantly thought about, you can set traps and put like gas cans around it. You can explode people up. And you're instantly thinking, can I get it in the car? Can I get more loot? So I love that one single update to the game, everyone has a thought process, and eventually in a couple of weeks' time, we tend to see a trend of the meta coming out, which I think is really, really cool. Match number 5, though, Cole. We are kicking things off, though. Miramar. There's only one map a day, so this one's going to be from a northwest down to a southeast, through the heart, the soul, the sandy dunes, as we say. A really good flight path for these teams to get their prio drops out of the way.
Yeah, solid start for the teams. Twisted Minds, home in Power Grid, FaZe Clan, the stars of yesterday, right? Running away with a show. Gonna be in for a chill early game. That southern part is mighty stacked because nobody chose to go Alcantara. Nobody chose to jump out early and reaction drop to that free area. So now the south is a little bit stacked, but nothing that we haven't seen before, nothing that shouldn't be doable for these teams.
Let's talk about leaderboard, though, slightly as we wait for these teams to get settled, get looted, because I think we will see some early engagement. And I think you alluded to this point yesterday, Ko, all about the actual, that one game can really change things. Yes, we have sort of FaZe Clan that have kind of hoovered up, swallowed as many points as they can, and kind of continued that aggressive stance that we saw at the weekend. But realistically, a one game, yes, we've only got 4, but one game is all potentially some of these teams need to put them in a top 4 talking position. But it also goes the other way, right? We need to have, as a team, good 4 games overall. Yes, you need that explosive game to ensure you get the high-level points. But actually, if you're quite consistent as a team, you're in a good position now because everything's kind of consolidated together.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, it's really hard to be consistent, right? I think that's why it's always so impressive to see teams that pull it off time and time again. That being said, when I look at this lobby, I can only say the only team that's really been consistent in the player tour overall, I'd say you could say it's maybe FaZe Clan. I think Skittles are the exact example of a team that is nuts when they work, but not consistent at all. Bushido is a team where we spent the first 3 iterations of the Player Cup talking about why Bushido isn't playing as well as they should be playing, and now they're looking okay. So it is really, really hard in these fast-paced, dynamic events. Short turnaround, it is hard to be consistent. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a team from the lower half of the scoreboard, a contestants maybe, a free side, whoever, even ADR, who haven't looked good yesterday at all, pop off in one game, carry it out through the next 2, and then suddenly they're in a really good spot to qualify.
That's the worry I've got now for today. So yeah, as I said, 4 games will remain, 1 of each. So 1 Rondo, 1 Miramar, 1 Arago, and 1 Spicy Tago in the mix. So not in that order by any means, but they all want to get things started. FaZe, if you had missed yesterday, as we've just been saying, they were explosive. Big kill games for them. Double 14 kill wins, wasn't there? It was two 24-point games was outstanding for them. So with this zone, they're in a happy position. They're in the middle. Yes, they might go towards that new update, which is Minister Generalis, and be keen to kind of get eyeballs on there when the teams start collapsing in, because that has had a change in this patch, because they've looked at actually the high dynamic versus the low, and they've kind of put this middle ground. So they've changed one of the unpushable buildings to those sort of container areas, and that's kind of going to allow teams to sort of transition, especially from the south towards the north. So I'd be intrigued to see, especially we're in a competition here, Ko, if teams want to go for that higher ground, do they get better lines of sight now into the town area?
I'm not sure just yet. I'll have to wait and see, I think. Oh. Kaduk. It's always fun to theorycraft, right, and to speculate. But generally, we have some of the best players in the world here. Yeah. We have some of the best players in Europe here. They're going to show us how stuff works. They're going to show us what's worth it, what's good, what's bad. We're going to see a lot of that. Maybe even just today. There in the distance, you can see a bit of Minas. You can see a bit of the changed high ground areas. It's not a massive change, but yeah, it
It's
is.
that middle section, isn't it?
It is different.
I think it's going to really change how things play. The Boom is getting to a point where he can look into that area. Gustav, though, does hold the compound further out. FaZe are being pretty greedy, and they are on the split. Just going to have a little scout of the compound. Now he looks back to Minas just to figure out where the shots might be coming from. He sees the car, so the Boom will have the idea now that actually, do you know what? There'll be a player there. Obviously, he hasn't got the information now whether how many players are there, but it's early game. You could roll the dice if you're the Boom, because he was explosive yesterday, and maybe look to try and take a 1 versus 1.
Yeah, or maybe just get the information and realize, okay, so there is somebody here, but he's clearly alone. Why don't we just set up for phase 2? You know, like even already now, he could send his team in, 4-man crash, and the second Gustav wants to leave, the Boom sees his car, right? Pops him out of the car, maybe pops the tires, whatever the game plan is. They could go for it here.
Yeah.
If he gets enough of a, if he's just sort of convicted enough to say, okay, this is really just one player. This is very, very likely not 2. That's a good play already, right there and then.
He's just trying to gather the information. Very wary, looking towards that north, expecting there's someone to be in that Minas area. So, be okay for now. Gustav's still on the loop. Double 5's got a scar in hand. Some shots across towards a FaZe player. Looks like it's Vard in the distance. Bit of a anti, like, we're not with each other, wink wink, start of play, but I've seen crazier things being pulled off.
It's a good one. You shoot it towards your teammate to confuse everybody that's trying to scout you. To everybody that would normally speculate that this is a 1-1 split, a 2-2 split, will then reconsider a little bit, at least doubt himself a little bit, or maybe just get a wrong read. That's pretty powerful. Giving people around you the wrong idea, especially because a lot of teams they'll then tend to build on that idea, right? They're like, oh, if this is split, then they have to be with this, and then that should be 2 teams. But who's the Minas team then? And it all builds on top of each other. So if you give them the wrong piece of the puzzle from the beginning, that can really throw some teams off.
There's the smoke, looking to try and get Winkley up. Hadouken. What's the angle? Where's the danger? It's from there. Is that one of the new little gas can things you can shoot and they will pop and explode? Again, interesting to see. There's not one of them. Be interesting to see how they sort of play. As yes, you might be out of smokes, but if you come across one of those sort of gas containers, obviously we've seen them in the garages. You're breaching your way in. If you get them, a hit on them, it will produce some smoke. The goat, unfortunately, can't produce the shots over the wall. Half an inch too small.
Awkward fight. Awkward fight around the concretes. A lot of different things to worry about, a lot of different angles. A lot of mistakes you can make. You just poke your head out a little bit too far. Not easy if you want to get it resolved quickly. If you have the time, if you're in zone, then sure. You can let this take a while, but everybody would love to get things resolved. I'm looking at the map stream though, Mark. I'm seeing a road camp in Puerto Paraíso that might be a little bit hotter than what we're watching right here.
Yeah, Belief are going to try and rotate their way through on that southeast corner now. They are well outside the zone. It's now starting to erupt though. 888 for the tyres. Gets the knock though, but it's not from the doings of their shots. Until does actually knock it himself. He'll fall, and then I'm5 will put 5 on it. And he's looking for that confirmation. There's the first point for them. I'm looking for the second.
Nice and easy. They didn't get the knock on the first one, but they will get the confirm here surely. First res has already come on in. Res a plane already flying across the map. Even though we're only lost 3. But it's not the skills, it's not slide. It's the lads from Empty Blank, I believe. There's that confirm. We knew it was coming. Oh, that's perfect timing for Sloyd to hit the wall. Take a pop wide in the open, but the shots don't connect. And if the shots don't connect, what are you going to do about it? Well, try again. It's 1 down. Gets the flush here as well. Take a pop still caught in the open. A nade from Sloyd could just seal his fate. First aid has come through.
Lucky.
So he might just live, but living on borrowed time.
Yeah, definitely borrowed time here. So have to go for the run. That first nade, if he was going through, I think you're right. That would have been him done and dusted. He'll grab the chips before going in towards the building. Zone shift towards the north. Might be favouring the new area. The goat. Looking back, he had the off angle. Between him and Sloy. Can we get the connection and slide? Well, need to slide their way back to the south. Maybe find another rotation path here.
Tough times. The slide. Again, just an awkward fight. It's such a hard fight to be taken. And the second you make a mistake, Sly is there to punish, doesn't want to overstep, doesn't want to get taken down himself, but Slide is getting out of there. And that means there is a chance now for the Skittles to get the res as well if they want to. Move on in. Have a player jumping into that phase 3 circle in a bit. Not looking all that bad.
A lot of the Hadouken's also left the town. He knows that he can't get caught on the outside here. So he's sort of playing his way in. Twisted Minds moving to the town. The Saints, they roll in from the north side. They do cross pass with Bushido. A couple of shots with damage. Car's a 3. Carl's been immobilized, so looks like it's going to be a bit of an Uber ride here. Bushido lost all momentum, trying to go up the hill, not a turnaround and use the downhill. Might get away with it. The car's pretty spent. The car's done now. They might have just about found the ridge.
Close but no cigar. Saints starting the game is 3. Hoping to make a bit of a mark there, but don't actually get away with anything. Bushido get away with a scare there. Losing the vehicle. Pretty solid for them though. That could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, they lost the first vehicle. Uber Ryo picked up the second vehicle. I think they're only trying to build up momentum going up the high ground. This wasn't going to work out for them, but the vehicle had enough in it to find safety. They're taken away, which is good to see. A couple of shots here from Golden X. We have spread out this the road. The compound. I think it's more about scare tactics. We know how easy this compound is to breach. And actually, saw the Bushido said, "Yes, this is going to be ours." Grozer in hand. Might give it additional confidence. Stratos, well, has to back away to safety. He's just working away from this Grozer at the hands. And not brain user. Oh, that was close with the nade.
Just a tiny bit overcooked, but our nades are coming his way. The reinforcements should be coming in any second for Viz. You can see Crossberg already no helmet anymore. If Apocalyptos just hits one bullet there with the mini, but you can see they're getting outpeppered from both sides. The internet heroes are chiming in. The Saints are coming in from the north. Bushido, they gotta go somewhere. If they're stuck here, Mark, they're as good as done for.
Yeah, this is ensured destruction here, especially without the helmet. Now it's starting to roll in. Saints do get one, so they follow that rotation path. Back into the cars here, Bushido might need to go. This surely has to be a full breach for them. They've got the zone shifts back towards the north. We are phase number 3. But for Bushido, like, where'd you go? You've left it so long now. The car has been heard. Now they're trying to figure out the rotation away. They catch all 3. They've had to jump out. The time is not good. Not brain user. It's got the brain to try and take the fight. There's 1, there's 2. Final play. It's a clean sweep. It's this with a little bit of help from the Saints.
A little bit of help from their friends afar. Gotta get Stratos back on his feet though. Gotta get the reses. Gotta get the heals off as well. Make sure that they don't get third party here. They live in a very popular compound at the moment. This is prime real estate.
Yep.
Other teams would love to take this. So they have to reconsolidate fast. Similar things here for the contestants who have finally made the move on the compound we talked about earlier. They have been met by 888. Looking good for contestants though.
Yeah, contestants. Shaky start. Looking strong. Grenade through the window. On the other side as they are rotating their way around. One has been knocked. Confirms out. And unfortunately the pressure comes in from the other side. So Slide puts Norman down to 3 HP. Forces him into a position now that I need a bit of help from that smoke. It's only been relieved for a short period of time. Slide will be looking at this one, see if they can breach this compound, maybe collapse in or take the outside edge for now.
They would have loved to see a few more knocks come in here. They would have loved to see contestants struggle just a little bit more. They could maybe get an easy backfill going. Gotten themselves the res.
Yep.
Slide squad. So they are back up to 4. On the other side of things, that was a double nade to open things up. And a nice little flush for Zero Swag on me. Storm on request. Looking worse for wear.
This is key for the heroes, right? They've got to hold this area. They've got to be quite aggressive. Puff those feathers out, as you say, and not allow any teams to cross the road or kind of backfill where they're positioned. So doing well at the moment. This will obviously be the target after. As you mentioned, they are in that popular compound. So already seen elements of breach in there. The only team left to come in is going to be kind of that Skittles team. They are still on the outside edge. There is the RDM coming down, so that's going to help potentially if that stairs. And now comes the kind of crash. But free side, the 2-2 split. They deny belief the opportunity to get in.
Yeah, they tried. Wasn't very close. Phase in the middle compound. They had a greedy split early. They have consolidated on the position they like the most. Now they're looking good, but phase 4 is coming in. Should be okay for FaZe Clan no matter where this goes, just because of how central they are. It's not okay for teams on the west though. They have to move, and they have to move past a very, very open area. Teams on the east, much nicer. Empty blank here. They get the entry on the Internet Heroes. That is something they can pursue. That is something they can keep the pressure on.
Yeah.
And just play into that side. Completely uncontested.
Also, I'm really intrigued to see what Twisted Minds do, right? They're only teams on the west that have got a bit more of a heavy lift, so to speak, in this zone. Do they go straight in towards that go next, go round and play into kind of that north side? We have the information, so I think for now they're just going to weigh up the options, play south maybe, wait for contestants to make their move and get the kills. Like, they've got a few variations they could take.
Yeah, I think that what you mentioned there, wait for contestants to make a move, is a theoretical option, but I think their best option is to go north for most of the time.
Has to be, right?
The question is, like, what kind of info do they have on Go Next? And do they know that there's a Go Next player right above them? So it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for the Twisted Mind squad. ADR, meanwhile, their game seems a lot more simple. They have a breach to make in front of them, and I think we'll see them try at least attempt that breach, but they could also swing east if they wanted to, so if the cars are good, if the vehicle situation is fine, we might see them join a fight right here. Where Skittles and Slide, well, they meet again.
Always seem to meet. Lloyd, looking for the connection. Bunny hop the car, just short. Drops over to the spray in the barrel. See the Breezy who gets it, and the Breezy gets the point as a reward as well. Hard work arguably done from Zloy. That gas can's not going to help you get mended up for now. But they'll try and now hold. Skittles in a good position. They just need to hold the outside edge, then they can start to apply pressure. This, interesting for me. Interesting that they're getting kills at this position as well. Being allowed to kind of flex out to a degree.
Yeah. Able to get aggro on this. There's the breach we mentioned. There's the nades coming in. And ADR should be getting absolutely blasted here. Lucic gets to run around the trailer here for quite a while without actually being taken down. But surely Skin and Recap, yeah, they gotta see this. And they finally do. And there, look on the left, contestants. They've done the best out of this. They realize there's some weakness here. There's at least a few points we can get. They take out ADR. Now they skip ADR's position. There is a few dips here that could be playable for them. Then they've suddenly put themselves in a reasonable spot here. If this doesn't destroy them on arrival, not a bad play from contestants.
We see so many times like teams kind of coexist in this environment, but normally this, in this instance, has a lot more pressure. I'm surprised, obviously, especially from the north. Twisted Minds have moved around to that north side, as we mentioned before. But this being able to kind of roam free in this area is going to allow them the opportunity to potentially get some more kills. So on 5. Zone has shifted back towards the west now, so Go Next Store remains in, and this becomes on the outside edge. Skittles, on the other hand, well, Playing Dance the Dance. As the break dancing for our heroes is underway. And it's difficult when you've got two cars crashing down on you. The GOAT does get our final.
A man who has to call himself the GOAT is no true GOAT.
Oh.
It's a Game of Thrones quote, adapted slightly.
I'll take it, mate.
Twisted Minds in a good spot now. They went north. They had a good read, apparently. They made the right decision. We knew it was the right decision, but we saw a map stream with everybody on it. They did not. They still made the right one. They can now just wait this out, play this defensive. You saw there for Empty Blank, it's not an easy ridge to push. It's not an easy push to make. And now, with a few shots coming in from the south and actually a player getting knocked, situation does get easier.
You know what they've done to Minds? They've kind of spread out across that north side as well. So I'll just wait and see. The GOAT jumps out, jumps back in for safety. Molly does the burning. GOAT nearly does the killing, forces him back into the danger spot. The reinforcements arrive. Round robin they go, but for now they do lose one. BRDM, well,
they might lose two.
Siege, about to say they're losing more than two at the moment. Include down to a one shot. Great night.
Yeah. Just night and day there, right? Player in the BRDM, Bing chilling, no problem at all. And then the player outside gets knocked and flushed in an absolute instant. Winkley hitting the bandages in the safety of the BRDM. They might go for the rock. They might go for the shack here. Whatever they decide to do. They should have one more transition in them. And there is that pressure now coming back towards Viz. They overstepped up a little bit. They went too aggressive on too many sides. Immediately punished. Immediately surrounded. And their game has just become mighty hard here, Mark.
Conquest seen an objective that they might be able to pick up a BRDM. And I'll follow that in suit. As eventually, unfortunately, fall. As it will be buried in the sandy dunes. Provide some cover, but not enough cover for contesters. They make the run. They know they've got one remaining target left in sight. The boom run out of ammo. Needs to find some kind of reload. But FaZe Clan from a distance, who have been left alone for so long, now start to activate. They can apply pressure and maybe be the last team that rolls in.
Anti-blank destroy slide. In FaZe Clan, they've been picking up knocks all the time. I'm not sure how many kills they would be on. But they've been third-partying everything going on that hillside. Be it the skills, be it contesters. Maybe even saw a knock there coming in towards Go Next. Not 100% sure about that's the way it went, but been dealing the damage. Not brain user. He's trying to use the MP5. Gets spotted, gets heard, and there is no support at all from the rest of the squad.
Here comes Lou.
This have completely respected that top bridge, which might be the correct play, but it also singles them out, and they are getting traded out here one by one.
This is fortunate for them. Be nice that it's able to take solo fights on at a time. Really good play for them. Empty blank, not an empty threat when pushing these compounds. Just in mind, as you can see now, Crazy Lou obviously has worked his way down. He's going to get an element of intel. Also back tower contested applying pressure on the south side. Just in mind, don't need to crash into this, but if it does erupt, my logic is maybe try and look for the third parties. Will we see the rest of Twisted Minds maybe apply pressure over here? Again, a team looking for a big game. They're currently in 6th, so they're outside that top 4 conversation at the moment, but maybe just waiting in the wings is the right play.
I think Lou is just going to wait here, pick up some freebies if he does get presented with any, and if not, he's going to ruin the teams when they have to move out of the compound, right? He's just going to slowly play on that ridge. Everybody that runs to the open can get punished. Everybody that tries to run up to him can get punished, and he can just make sure that no big threat comes out of that compound. And if he does that, if he succeeds in that, he immediately locks in a 3rd place here for Twist, right, with a few kills. So he's gonna do his job here, and if he doesn't get spotted, which he has already been, should be just fine. But now Empty Blank, I wonder if they just run it up on him. Yeah, I wonder if they just go full in. Battle from the side is gonna try to slow them down, but it's also just one man.
This was great. X-Ride does cause damage. Lou reinforces that position now as they do the right thing. Now running up on him. Zest is now going to catch that opening. This still remains. Now it's just a player though. In the distance, the smoke will has to come out. It's 9 kills already. Looking for one more to get those double digits for game number 1 for them today. Fortunate cautious though. This is dancing a very, very fine line between some very dangerous players, and the one that's to your north is the one I wouldn't want to take my eyes off.
Yeah, they're gonna reactivate on this for sure. There it is. Crazy Lou finds one. Batu gets absolutely dominated by Script. Stratos is still in this though. He's still healing in this smoke. He's still playing into life. Have they forgotten about him? No, absolutely not. They're trying to clear. But they don't see anything either. He's gonna re-smoke his position one more time. Cadetta's still in this. Empty Blank still in this. Now they're gonna start getting pushed out. That's gonna do a whole lot of damage. That's the blue zone coming in and the blue zone grenade coming in. There's not a lot of space to live here anymore.
No. And the final player. He does lead. Now Twisted Minds get the res, see the opportunity to get the knock to take it. So we're leading out slightly. Empty Blank will fall. Cautious them. Good game. I'd say arguably the points, the maximum amount of points they could get out of this, especially with that crash on that north side. But we do go for a top 4. Twisted Minds are a 4. Conf is a 4. FaZe, as I said before, left to their own devices, but store a 4. Go next. Unfortunately, losing a few bodies. Have now lost the zone. So we do go back towards FaZe. We start pretty much in the centre. Still got a couple of zones to go, but in a position now to maybe try and take a win.
Yes, we still have a phase 8 to go, but phase 8 never hard shifts. So Gustav has pretty much already locked in the center for FaZe Clan here. The rest of FaZe now going to pull up to get that flush. Make sure Go Next doesn't get that back up. And there it is. 6 frags already for FaZe. Looking like an absolute contender for the win here. They will lock in the qualification in the first game of the evening. No matter what happens now. Everybody else is playing for 3 shots. Twisted Minds is. Go Next is. Contesters are. Twisted Minds is battling on 2 fronts.
Yeah, I'm about to ask that question. Do you think FaZe is locked in now? I'm kind of with you on it. Jordan's vest is pretty much cracked. Looks off. He actually takes a rebound off the rock in front of him and goes to Narnia. See if he can catch anyone on that one, though. Does catch someone called Lou. But that came off the rock that was right in front of him. That is so unfortunate, though. But Jordan's digging deep, runs through the fire to take on the players, but no. Even under the pressure of the fire, Petunians will fall, and it's down to Perfectix, unfortunately.
That went all sorts of wrong. Not only the teammate, right? That's a little unfortunate, but then Batu goes for the blue play. But I mean, FaZe is gonna close this game out, okay? But going for a blue play is great because it's so hard to see. Okay. I mean, okay. Sure.
Respect that. 11 kills, 21-point game. It's game number 5. It's a FaZe victory. With that victory, though, I would argue with anyone now that is a complete lock-in from FaZe. And the danger is, as you alluded to, there's only now 3 spots left to grab.
3 spots left for everybody else on the leaderboard. Skittles got a few kills this game. They were second, right? And then we have, Twist coming in.
Yep.
Who put themselves in an absolute contention spot now. I think Viz with another okay one, but again, their game kind of crumbled. They would have loved to play a 3rd place with a few more kills here, right? They would have loved to play a game like the contesters did at the end. But just a little bit much to deal with. I want to go back to that Petunians play, because I think the blue play here, right? It's not bad. And a big part of the blue zone play is you're hard to see in the blue zone and you're not expected there. But when you're on fire, when there's literal flames coming out of your body, everybody can see you in the blue zone. So he had no chance of actually pulling it off once he ran to the molly, unfortunately.
It's Petunians like, I'm on fire, I'm killing people. That was a good game. That was a good game. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, though, it is going to be map number 2 of the day, or map number 6, though. We only got a best of 8. And as we already alluded, though, FaZe Clan already potentially locking in their spot. That will be going through towards that last chance qualifier before Masters Rest. So take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see you in match number 2.
I just need a spot, light in the dark. I got a 2 chain, but hard too. Don't always listen when you talk. We was wishing upon a star.
I've just landed. Real enough that this battleground will remember.
I'm bringing the static. She sees the world respect. I follow with my soul connect. Hey.
in a storm, I still come aiming, I hush it and rain. Whoa. No fear, every step I claim, face strong, not a thing I change. Staying in my lane.
내가 선택한 플레이. 정해진 룰은 없어. 내가 정해. 그게 바로 G-Dragon. Battleground.
A new collaboration, movable death boxes, and some changes to Miramar. All this and more as we dive into the update 37.2 patch report. First up, the desert's about to heat up again with a visit from the iconic artist G-Dragon. You'll be able to find an emote stage on the starting island. Special G-Dragon map decor such as a decked out gas station and fan room, and other themed visuals such as planes, blue chip towers, and care packages. And be sure to head over to the G-Dragon truck stop to immerse yourself in the recreated Power music video set. Next up, we're improving the way you interact with some of the objects around the map. You'll now be able to reposition death boxes to get them to a safer location before looting, or use them to lure unsuspecting loot goblins to their demise. Doors can now be opened inward as well as outward, and all those gas tanks you've been wanting to shoot for years will now explode when you do so, leaving behind a large cloud of smoke to cover your movements. More details on where you can see these changes in the patch notes. And speaking of Miramar, the Minas Generalis area has gotten an overhaul this update as well. We've streamlined building layouts for more efficient looting, added more item spawn locations, simplified the terrain and structures, and balanced out the engagement.
Let's go! Game number 1 done and dusted though. We've only got 3 more, as I said, to go before we have to crown our top 4. That'll be joining the alleged 8 that have run through the Masters Gauntlet so far. Good game. FaZe, Control, Cool, Calm and Collective to get themselves through. We need to get ourselves over to Tago, but arguably FaZe locked on in.
Locked in. Not just arguably. I'm not arguing with anyone. FaZe are locked in. Come at me. I'll argue you into the ground. But we have, what I would say right now is 7 teams fighting for the other 3 slots. I think there's a small gap between Vis and Storm on Request. Everybody that's at the bottom half of the scoreboard has to get a good game to even close that gap, and then another good game to push themselves up. For example, a Storm on Request, right? They are 17 points away. Yeah, that's correct. Yep. 17 points away from a qualification slot. You don't really catch that up in one game. So top half of the leaderboard looking good for the top 4. Bottom half has to step it up for one game, and then they'll be in the conversation.
Kudos to his empty blank as well. Yeah, play on that sort of north side, coming in over towards the other side of the road, applying the pressure and holding out was good. That gave them a good jump up on the leaderboard. They find themselves now on 16 points. Yes, obviously it's a big old climb now for a top 4 scenario, but if they can go again and get another 9 kills and a good amount of placements, they might be able to close it out. It might be explosive, but it might be going down to a last game.
Should be.
Oh, hot drop.
Should be going to a last game. Hot drop or a fake hot drop. We'll see in a second what's going on in Terminal. This is... we've seen the Skittles before. We've seen the Skittles before, throwaway games, but contestants are just taking the car away. And RB26 is too slow, too late to do anything about it. FaZe has popped though. Circle has popped, and it's gotten us right onto the Michael Bay Bridge. So essentially just water all the way through the middle. It's a polarizing zone, I would call it.
This is dangerous. This is a dangerous zone. As much as you look at this going, it's going to the north side. I always worry, especially on this map, Tago, because we see so many of the zones pull back, especially the early shifts, the 2s and the 3s, pull back to that water. And like, but which way? Does it play across towards the east? Does it come to the south? Do we play towards Terminal? Do we hold on to a little bit? Does Lou get able to hold on to a fortress just before crossing over? There's a few variations towards this map here. The other thing to think about is the other bridges, like Freeside, have got arguably a free side, no pun intended, in their northeast corner. They can cross, they can go into the high grounds, they can go round to army base, maybe play late, come in on that zone edge. And then that's before we even start looking at emergency pickups. Any teams like Belief, FaZe, etc., and an EP here can put them behind enemy lines, and they could be very, very destructive.
Yeah, an early EP to the north here is not a bad shout. An early EP, if you're going from the south into this kind of corner of the map, is absolutely respectable, because you know, right, with a plane path this far south, you know that north third of the circle is just going to be free, and that's exactly what you were talking about as well, right, with free side. Just coming their way on in. You can even just play past army base. You can play up here, slowly get into the zone. All you need is one phase 2 shift to the northwest, and suddenly you're in the best spot of the circle, completely uncontested. So it's absolutely doable to get yourself to a good side here. And not everybody can be in those kind of positions where you're fine on both sides, right? Where you're okay with wherever it ends. Not everybody can play those positions. They are very limited. So just gambling for one shift, like the north shift or the south shift, is going to be the way to go for a lot of our teams.
It's interesting that no teams have popped the EP, whether they've found or not. But it's also interesting for me, the Saints, they're coming across from Palace. They're taking on fishing camps. So they're going aggressive here in the southwest corner as they want to take on Slide. We saw early action there as well. So for me, early statement, obviously the Saints, we know they need some big points here. Can they dig out Cantix on his own? Have they identified it? Does he get time to get some reinforcements?
So this is 1-on-1 PUBG. They spotted a solo and they want to clear him out. The rule we always used to have, I think it was basically Brex establishing that rule. If we don't know where the guy in the compound is, then there's no point, because he can waste so much of our time, and he can waste enough of our time that the rest of the team can come to help him. Now, he shot, didn't get a knock, and the rest of the team is still far. So there is still a chance for the Saints to close this out, but they're already bleeding numbers. Now, that could have been a second or right there and then. It might be a disaster here for the Saints. If Cantix can stay alive just a little longer, he's now got Senka Pow Pow on his side. He's posing massive issues for the Saints. This should not go well for them.
No, they've just about got their position right now. They've collapsed on, looking for the tippy toes. No pedicures just at the moment, but unable to get the flush because he has to continue applying the pressure. More importantly, he's still giving information. It goes over.
He smoked that.
And that. Did he smoke that? I think the other player smoked that, right?
No. He just smoked that with a smoke launcher, but why?
Maybe a move. Maybe we want to get wide. I don't know. I need that down.
Blocks are coming in. he got the opener. We have to say Saints went a little over the top. Now, third party's coming in from the Internet Heroes as well, making that even worse for both teams in the compound. But it is the Saints suffering, and they are now down to just that warehouse, which means they will get utiled more and more.
Oh.
Any blue zone coming their way would be absolutely destructive. Just a nade placed in the right corner as well could be the end of them.
Dude, again, we spoke this the other day. It's one of my favourite compounds, but it is so favoured for third party action because a lot of teams transition this way, especially when they try and look to one of the crosses of the bridge by Palace, try and play over it. It's normally quite hectic, and that's before we even see the EP. So we do have Skittles taking an emergency pickup. They are going over the top of them, a bit more towards that sort of east side. And he said about perfect post utility. Oh, there's one. Second Pow Pow. He does fall on the right side of the wall at the moment, not to get flushed.
Remember we talked about it yesterday, how we've seen a lot of aggression for game-winning compounds, and then we had a really weird example of teams just flying into fishing camp when it wasn't going to get the
There you
go. And we're just doing that again today. We're just ruining our games in fishing camp. Slide now going to lose Senka Pow Pow. I mean, very likely we'll lose Senka Pow Pow. Not confirmed yet, but doesn't look good at the moment. And nobody is really going away happy here. Even the Internet Heroes, who have control over the situation, they've now committed so much time into this.
Yeah.
They haven't really gotten anything out of it.
What I'm concerned, I'm not worried about the third party, the fourth party, the fifth party. These teams need points, right? What I'm worried about and eager to keep my eye on is that teams haven't tried to close the bridge off on the other side just yet. The Bushido is there. I think when Bushido get win, there's a lot going on to the south for them. They have the opportunity. And if these teams leave it late, if we had that expected zone shift that you spoke about and you've drawn on the map where it goes towards that northwest corner, like, they're going to have to make a desperate attempt. And at that point, like, is it worth it? Are the 4 points, is the 3 points worth it, depending on the third party? We have to wait and see. We do go towards the other side. Belief rotating towards free side. Again, another team looking to try and climb this leaderboard at the moment. Sitting again in 10th place. They're on 18 points. So another 10 place appointment would put them in the left-hand side of the leaderboard. But again, limited games left.
Freeside have done exactly what we said they could do, right? They swung north. They came in from that north, controlled their edge, and found some free kills on the way. Now looking to regain control, regain space after they clamped up. Make sure to get those flushes. And yeah, like we said, right? There is that. I'd call it a conspiracy theory about circles going to the water on Tego, but whatever it is, the odds are not speaking for it. Okay, a circle cannot center on water. That means by sheer mathematical numbers, it's always more likely to go away from the water than it is to go towards the water. So you can't be too surprised if the circle swings northwest. It can do anything, right? It can do almost anything in phase 2 and 3. But there is just always that tiny little bit of increased odds for the zone to go away from the water.
Take the tin half, mate. Join the club. I'm telling you. Wait and see. It looks like Belief, though, backing away from free side. I've gone into the open arms of 180 yard. I spotted him. He's trying to draw the shots out. And he's exposing a little bit of his body, telling me that he has a good understanding that people are here. Belief does have the secondary player as well, so I'll move around the outside, gets in the cart. Got to draw the attention now of 180 yard. He's trying to shimmy himself into a position. He's been spotted as well, as unfortunately for 180 yard. Lyric now needs to reposition himself, giving away the sound cue, but he had to do it, otherwise he was going to get knocked.
Classic standoff. Numbers only in favor for ADR, but they're not all here. They have to reinforce this. If Ansley lands a banger here, things could be good, but he's lost his teammate now. Never Lost Hope is out of the question. 62 damage on the nade on Luchik. He's going to get the flash out, and then he's going to run this one down. Well done, ADR. Clean sweep. Just like that. 2 frags collected. No problem at all. The phase is about to come on in, though, and I don't just mean the circle shift. I also mean FaZe Clan, who are hopping on an EP in case this goes north. It goes northeast.
Was it going
towards Yongchong, which just confirms that what we were thinking. This fishing camp fight has been almost entirely pointless.
Yeah. Arguably, I thought it might have gone more towards that southwest, but yeah, still holds onto the water. My not verified theories. Still holds onto so much. Now, we lost some players, but you're right. The fact that these guys are so far in the southwest corner, what point do you cut loose? 888 on the outside. Yes, they're looking for a couple of points here. I think they're looking for an opening if they get across the river. If they want to now, they can maybe leapfrog, go onto the hillside on the other side, get on the right side of the zone, but everyone's on the move. Just a mind, still about being on the move. Looks like the boom catches out Lou. The only one, though. Just a mind now make haste, get across the water.
Losing one already. He might lose a second one here. Headshot instantly comes into Batulins. They gotta veer off. They gotta try and get themselves out of dodge. It does help when you have a drive-by gunner like that. 3 HP on little cutie here. Gotta mend himself back up. Twisted, stay alive. Go towards Yongchong. If they do good scouting here, if they get a little greedy in Yongchong, then they can get a really good spot here still. But they have lost Perfectix in the process. They're not getting that res back up, so... Or they have lost Lou, excuse me. Gonna hurt them. It's gonna make everybody else in the lobby that's hunting for one of those top 4 spots be a little more hopeful.
Difficult. Difficult area to play. Couple shots go back and forward, but she does get knocked out. Do again. Oh, third positions here. This bridge, he get a lot of drama coming over. Bushido, the MG, might be able to catch Vampire as he makes the desperate descent across. Extended. Takes a huge amount of shot though from crossbar distance. Actually, now Pop does eventually finish him and find him. Bushido using the angles to their advantage. Now the red zone. It's going to cause some issues. And that's before we look at the contestants and they get in their cars and just start going for a full send over.
Gonna be interesting to see what the contestants do. Because they could come over here, but they have the other option as well, right? They have kept control of that bridge. Should have the info. Celtic now. He's out positioned a little bit, but he's got a teammate to help him out. And now, oh, he can just Batman this. He can just fly on down. He is so patient, so disciplined. But he gets completely wrecked. Absolutely destroyed.
In the bin.
Oh, no. That could be a flush as well. Yep. There you go. See you later.
Oh, my. What did I just watch? Fortunate for Bushido, contestants have gone for a huge 2-2 split. So only 2 remain on this bridge. They've gone all the way to the other bridge on the east side of Yeongchung before they sort of move over. They are one of the few teams remaining on the south now. We do obviously have those teams from Fishing Camp leaving and coming this way, but not in zone just yet. Back towards that top side, we spoke about Freeside and their rotation skills with the emergency pickup now applying pressure, but also this is coming this way. In the town, Empty Blank will find Go Next. They are going to be neighbouring at the moment. I'd expect the zone shift to come back towards that northeast. We should start to see the water dissipate. And there we go. It has gone their way. They'll be happy. Both these teams now in the centre of the zone.
Yeah. There used to be some really funky land ratio here that would always push it down now into those compounds where Go Next is.
Yeah.
There used to be some funky stuff going on there. EP pulled for Storm on request. It's a little late. It's a few seconds too late. They should have already been in the air. But they are probably going City here. And if they just climbed this one a little bit better, they would have maybe beaten FaZe Clan. But if FaZe stays out enough, this could be just fine for them. They could easily get picked out of the air, though, if they jump into the wrong kind of area. Not looking like they're actually going City. They're going Forest. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, they might have seen all these cars sort of roll in, right? I think that comes into what you're saying. They've maybe not the right timing. Bushido lose another one. 888 cross pass. So we now pop that on that south side of the zone. They've got to rotate their way in. Contested with their 2-2 split, that works out for them. They held on to that bridge on the east. They're also going to potentially look here. I think the worry for me, these styles of zone, a lot of people play into the city. Yeongchung becomes kind of I must be able to get there, especially for the emergency pickups, right? But most of the time it leaves. So interesting, we've seen quite a number of these players sort of already dive in. Maybe that's part and parcel of why Storm request maybe saw the opportunity not to get involved too early into the POI.
It's a numbers game, right? Like, it can go to the city, but it can go out. It's much easier to get into the city than to get out. That's the age-old wisdom from PUBG 2018. But you add on top of that there is water next to the city, right? So you know that it's a little less likely to be centering on the city and a little bit more likely to be centering on the forest. So we've seen plenty of early city commits. We see some absolutely illegal driving here by Gustav. That man has just bumped his car on all sorts of levels, but gets it ready for the next zone. It might need a new paint job, though.
Yeah, be a bit of a reskin. The Saints send one. Comes the eye in the sky for everybody else, though, and it's actually Twisted Minds that get the final blow. 14th place for them. Yeah, I kind of, like, as a solo, you take that, wouldn't you? Like, okay, I've only got one risk. There's only one play really here. So that or sitting out in the field by myself or the hillside. At least he rolled the dice as a chance. Too many guns were looking up.
I mean, the choices weren't there anymore. The choices were there earlier for the Saints when they decided to take part in that odd compound fight that they didn't have to force at all. That they could have just skipped entirely. That's when they still had choices. Here at the end, there wasn't a whole lot of them left. Slide gets a reset in, gets a revive. So do the boys from Freeside. So do Bushido. Oh yeah, I'm busy staring at all these planes coming across as ADR is getting dismantled here.
It's a big shift as well back towards the west. So FaZe now in the outside edge of the compound. Gustav doesn't need to use that card. That nade goes up and over. It survives at the moment. Tippy toe shots will come in. Dangerous place to try and hold. And 100 ADR And one of these teams like FaZe now on the outside edge, now trying to capitalize on these teams that are going to try and mass migrate their way out. I worry about that recoil that's just come in though. Unfortunately for Slide, there's nowhere for him to get loot. He's just at the moment floating above the water. Maybe he goes for a bit of a splashdown. Maybe he has to share some guns out for the remainder of the team as they rotate on the south.
Gets a lot of info, that's for sure, right? That's what these reses can get you in the late game as well. At the time he lines up, the guy can just be your eye in the sky if he doesn't get lasered like that Saints player did a minute ago. And that is a crazy bounce. That could have been so good. Just bounces for the flush.
Take it. You'll take it.
Take a flush. Yeah. You saw it as well, right? They were super happy to get that flush, get away. Play that later on again. They know they might have to come back here, but now the opposition they will meet is already weakened. It's a nice little play with a lot of impact here for 888.
Impact still going to happen for 13 of these teams.
Oh.
On 5. One Bushido completely unsettled. Pretty far comes through. Nice headshot. Straight into it. Gets the body. We'll finish off. Fortunately for Bushido, down to 2. And now running towards that north side. Lucky enough for them. Didn't catch player. It's only for 1 though. 888 super tight. Hunting down this remaining players. Face number 4 on the outside edge. And Bushido, well, they're going to fall. Freeside does catch him. Maybe Freeside has the opportunity to try and gain some more information on this sort of west side. But for now, Bushido not settled compared to their games yesterday.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
Is one way to describe them. They've been consistently inconsistent, I think it's fair to say.
Still consistent though.
Yeah, you can find consistency in everything. As long as consistently inconsistent counts.
I love that you're tripping yourself up as well. But keep going. I love this. I love this. Go.
We got a zone coming in though, and it's going to be an impactful one actually. This zone is going to decide a lot. Not a lot of teams have a great amount of space. Not a lot of teams have a great amount of area to play. And yeah, now we're going to a little bit of city and a little bit of forest. But a team like Storm on Request, they are going to get tested here. They're going to get tested by multiple teams at the same time.
I'd argue the higher you're up in this area, the worse it is for you now as well, right? Because teams lower down will see your feet way before you can see them. And there's that kind of ravine that runs through the middle of this zone. It's a little bit on that sort of west of where the drops are. FaZe are laughing. I think FaZe have got the big question is how do they cross the road if it plays again towards the west? But for now, they're a team which has always qualified. A team coming into this game on 80 points, Koho. And every point they steal from someone else is going to make it tough for the final 2 games.
In a way, it does, and in a way, it can help you as well, right? You'd rather have FaZe win a game than Twisted Minds win the game, right?
Yeah,
if Twisted Minds win the game, they're taking your second spot away, so it all depends on the circumstances. And there's that test for Storm on Request. There's the first one going down. Stratos finds the opener, but Stratos and his squad, they're going to have to be busy with Freeside here at the same time. Not Brain User. Not longer in the lobby. Freeside looking to make that 2 as well. They might have spotted the Paisley, but can't quite peek over just yet. But there's so many fights cooking on this northern side. Contesters and Skittles is a thing as well.
Yeah, this is ensured destruction now. This is I need to get points and I need to get them quick. As Loy still holding that gas can. It's not helping plan, but it seems to be his go-to. He's going to try and launch it down the hill. Element remains down to a 1 shot. As Loy has to understand. He goes for that bunny hop. He goes over the top. Airburst is going to be good. No. One does get the med back on. So he has to run into the danger as he goes underneath that nade. Now he's driving. Skittles only got 2 remaining players. Hadouken is down, but he'll be able to gain some information. And Gonex now starts to provide, I suppose, an element of pressure. Zoy catches the time and right. The contestants go down.
That's 1 fight resolved. That's 2 more cooking up. That's Viz trying to get in. It's Freeside trying to stand. It's 888 trying to swing up the hill as well. So 888 is trying to make a move into Freeside, and they're blowing them up as well. 888's just been farming with nades this game so far. Their explosive damage is through the roof. And here is Storm on Request, still holding on, still kicking, still 4-man strong as well. They got the res from earlier. They got the manpower to maybe hold off just that little bit longer, but look at that. Stratos dominating from the rock.
he had to apply the pressure. They actually got team shots from them, so jumped off. Again, you don't want that. I love that Stratos, though, took the drive. He went forward, puts it back in their hand. 2 versus 2 now. The swing comes round. Breezy, sees the play, gets the opening knock, though, so he does position himself back towards the smoke, but he takes a molly to the face. That's unfortunate, though. It's going to be cautious, though. Stratos back onto that high ground. The smoke is going to start to dissipate. Just be cautious. Now the third party actually going to force him to come through. Good spray, and Stratos will clear it.
Stratos clears it, but does he clear it in time before skills activate? That's the question. Does he get a res at all? 8-8, they've got bigger questions. They got to win this fight first. Sorry, I'm crazy. Gets himself 1. But April on 6 frags already, Mark. He stands one more time. All of these teams barely holding on. No fight going cleanly. And I can see Skittles already walking up. 2 nades in hand. Dapezi, did he get himself into safety? I don't think he did. I think he's blowing up right away. Just like that, Stratos is making a run for the hillsides. He hasn't been spotted by Sloy, surprisingly.
Run.
But that man was focused on the rock in front of him. Didn't see Stratos just slipping away in the distance.
I think there's a world we see Bushido drop out here, right? We've got Skittle Story and Twisted Minds in 888, which are on a worldy at the moment as well. Slide still have bodies up as well. And Bushido are just not firing on all cylinders at the moment. Feels like a little bit of a lone ranger for them. 2 games still to fix, so we need to really sit this one out and rethink about how they do. But Perfectix with that perfect nade off the backboard. Oh, there's another one though, and that's not as good. So 1 for 1, we're back to equal. Perfectix is not the god that we think he is sometimes. He's just taking a leaf out of, I suppose, Batulin's book.
Yeah, that was Batulin's nade right there and then. That was almost a teammate. But they are getting the flushes. They are ringing through here. Remember, they arrived as a 3-man. FaZe was holding as a 4. The numbers were never in their favor. They've blown up as much as they could. This warehouse, knowing well that Fakes can't just be playing on the outside because he will get punished. Well done. Example keeps on guessing, and at some point he does guess correctly. Does the mind stand? And FaZe will not be sponging up the points.
He's doing guessing. He's playing battleships, Koho. It's just B4. Works his way down. FaZe do fall out. Twisted Minds could have easily wrapped around this. Didn't have to get involved in that fight. So, good play. Hopefully going to try and maybe refresh some of this util. Go next, applying the pressure. They have run the gauntlet across the road now towards the south side. And City still remains in. So, Twisted Minds are going to be happy at the moment. Go next. Also been able to kind of apply the brakes. And Hadouken. Well, seems like he's Hadouken your keyboard. As Stratos still remains. And now they get eyes on Slide.
Technical difficulties on my side of the thing. We are good. We are good. April, though, I'm not sure if he's good. He's becoming part of the team right now. He's actually walking up all the way. Hello. Make that 7. Barely gets the flush.
I just thought he wasn't happy that FaZe went out. I thought he was just smashing the keyboard. It's not what I said you to play. Hadouken down to 1 shot. Stratos, though, has been found, as you say. But they got more than 1. The GOAT RB. It's the car pull up here. Slide only with the 1 opportunity. 1 for 1. Stratos, though, gets the initial knock. Now comes back to another 1 versus 1. Nade goes out. Unfortunately, hits the tree. Doesn't go quite past. He's lost a player. Oh, my God. Stratos puts him down.
Dominating.
Completely lost
not something we can say about Stratos a lot of the time, but he's popping off. The man, I've had the pleasure of actually playing on a team with him back in the day, and he would always pop off when he was solo. As soon as he didn't have to speak anymore, as soon as he was the last guy up, we'd like unlock a different level. And he's been cleaning up that entire northern side. He is the only survivor of the 6 teams that were up there, and I think he's picked up quite a few kills for himself.
Enable God mode. Love it. He's a good player. Really good player. Enjoy casting him, watching him. Oh my God. Perfectix those. 2 for 1. 1 dodgy rubber nades. Number 2 have been perfect. Fine. Needs to try and hold. Here the elevation. Ninzo gets away with it. Made a sound. Mr. Q. Due to the smoke. There's a 4 versus 3 versus 3 versus 1. 180 on a huge split. Trying to take advantage of the 3 they've got. But the problem is, one of them gets isolated. Can they get a res in? Gotta question it.
Gonna get punished here, I think. Go next. Fine is not making it in. And then the other 2 are just down to a 2-man, and that could be the next target for Stratos. He's already sort of creeping up. He gets to third party that. Gets to be a thorn in the backside. Could be another 2-3 points for himself. And yeah, there is that fine knock. He was never making it across the road, but at least he got one. At least he got his.
Twisted Mind's doing Twisted Mind things. You play out. That's down to a duo. Yeah. Huge amount of knocks, and unfortunately, though, lucky enough for Twisted Minds, they do have the tree, but not for much longer. They're full. 180 AR already received a knock. It's a 2 versus 1. Stratus, though, as you say, he unlocks God mode when he's by himself. Might be holding his breath. Hopefully, he is breathing. He'll have to talk, so he just needs to figure out the 1 versus 1s he can take. Not got much util left in the back pocket, but he's got a new designer crate right in front of him.
And I have to hit that first hit immediately. Now, wants to reposition, doesn't want to get naded on the crate. Good call. But that is enough time for the rest to come through. That is enough time to send us into a straight up 3v1. If he doesn't find a cheeky entry knock from the side, from an unknown position, that's going to get mighty hard. And now they know where he is as well. Oh, but the smoke's coming out, but Taikemi almost gives him the opener. Stratos goes down low. He wants to force this.
GG's.
The smoke spam's too good. Nice try. But this end up in second, and ADR finally show a bit of life.
Yeah, they got a win. Doubling up the points just on the placement alone. And they were in 16th place. But do you know what? I want to give massive kudos to Stratus there. Just the ability that sometimes, as you saw, a couple of opportunities there. He could have sat on the crate. He could have been util dump. He has this capability. It's not just him, but to lose players. We saw it as well in the forest. Play across, and they get the tree. He doesn't play that way. He gets creative how he moves around and breaks down these kind of 1 versus X amount. He was so close. And potentially, if he didn't get caught, he went forward on that nade. He could have picked out on the players. So, high IQ plays, and I love cost.
It's also just really fun that it went out of the city, right? It's, the gameplay is so different. The city gameplay, it is high action towards the end, but it is rather one-dimensional at times, where if you get to sit and you get to defend, that's massive, and you have to move across spaces with everybody around you in buildings. It's just so hard. These forest fights, they were all hard. They were all complicated. None of them were easy to maneuver, and we could see that no team was able to stay clean throughout any of them, right? Because it was just a little bit too tricky, a little bit too hard, and everybody was standing their ground a little bit too well. So, love to see that. Love to see circles that just take everything out of our teams, right? Make them use everything they got.
Especially, we said before, that sort of high ground, it does really punish teams. You think you're safe, especially in the forest, but actually the lower teams can make it work a lot better. 100 obviously did go out, 16-point game for them. That's huge, and not just doubling up on their points, going a little bit further. So a strong game. Tego has been explosive. Back-to-back days, though, we've had a bit of a rally up, should we say, Karo, at Fishing Camp, but we've got to rally out for a second, though. We only have 2 more maps. We are at the halfway point now before we obviously work our way into Rondo. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, as I said, it's Rondo time.
Between high and low ground in the area. There's also a new Survivor Pass. The return of Survivors Left Behind and Hungers Left Behind.
Still alive. Just eviscerate the team just like that. They have taken the game.
About these events like the PUBG Hot Drop 2025 that we just had is simply just meeting all of these amazing people.
PUBG for putting on this amazing event. It's been so much fun. It's been so great getting to chat to the devs, getting to see everyone playing games and having so much fun. Thanks to all the team that's put it together.
It's great to be here. I can only say to other PUBG players, come here next year.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive play in third-person perspective mode for players of all ranks, levels, and ability. Here's how it works in EMEA and Americas. PUBG Players Tour competition is held in 2-week phases. Each week, you and your squad can compete in player scrims. Think of these as a great alternative to ranked play. Each day of scrims will feature a variety of maps, with defined team and lobby sizes to ensure a balanced best-of-3 rounds. Teams will earn points based on their performance, and daily leaderboards will track their progress. When the scrims are over, the top teams will qualify for the PUBG Players Tour Cups, where they will be joined by up to 10 invited teams, featuring some of the best players in the region. Players' Cup leaderboards will track team performances across 2 days of play, with the top 8 squads progressing to the final round of competition. Players Masters are the pinnacle of the PUBG Players Tournament. 8 teams from each of the 2 cups will engage in fierce competition for a huge prize pool in each region across the PUBG Players Tour season. And for times when a Players Masters isn't scheduled, you can still get your PUBG Players Tour fix with Super Cups. These work just like Masters events, where again, 16 teams, 8 from each of the 2 previous Players Cups, compete for a share of the total cash prize pool. Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. You know the game. Be a player.
Over the halfway point here of week number 1. Game number 3 is about to go underway for day 2, but we do need to have a quick look at the leaderboard because there's been big moves and shakes from FaZe as they do continue to move up that leaderboard, Koho, with 1 additional point from that one. But that kind of spoke to the chaos that sort of unfolded in the town. But there are other moves and shakes. 888 VIS launching that leaderboard, and as we said, Bushido has dropped out.
Yeah. Another great point made by FaZe for my argument earlier that they are locked in. They get 1 point, and they still have over 20 points in a gap right there. Skittles on 57, Twisted Minds on 53, 888 on 44. If that was too fast for you, just to sort of illustrate, the 4th place right now is on 44, and then we have 40, 40, 39 right after. So that top pack is still completely fighting for it, and I think it's the same situation as before. It is that top half, the top 8 is playing for 3 slots. So we still have 7 teams competing for 3 slots. It is still mighty packed.
I'd even say, as you just said, I would include the contestants. They're on 34, right? So 10 points away. So a win, arguably. Freeside jumping up the leaderboard had not bad back-to-back games. Yes, they're a little bit further away on 24, so they need arguably 2 good games. And 100 ADR, rags to riches, now going from 16th to 10th, up on 21 points. So again, for me, these teams are now on the right-hand side. They need back-to-back good games, not just get into the end zone.
I think they almost need wins back-to-back.
I'm about to say they either have to get the win. If they don't get the win, they need high kills.
Yeah. That you need, I mean, to catch up 20 points in 2 games, you need to be getting at least 15 points a game, right? So it has to be really good games. And with just a few less placement points in, the normal, the straightforward way is to win the game. But of course, just win full head, as the analysts would say. But I think it's becoming unlikely because even if you're getting, let's say you're getting those 15-point games back to back, somebody else, just one team ahead of you, has to also have 2 good games, and then that already doesn't work anymore.
It's dangerous. It is, and you got to also factor in that it's not in your hands at that point either. You are reliant on teams like Skittle, Twisted Minds, AA, Vis, not getting real big points as well, extending that gap to the grid. So we'll go towards the hot drop though. It is Empty Blank taking on the Saints. I favourite areas to drop here on Rondo. They are just on the outside edge of zone, so got to be cautious. They do look in. XY goes to get some more loot. Z Hope doing the same. The repair kit, I think that's been a nice add, a nice addition. Seeing more and more teams kind of carrying this as a go-to, especially in the trunk of a car as well. So if you see him, kind of grab it.
That slot has become so contested, right? That used to be completely useless. That used to be just pistols that nobody wanted to use. And then we got the sawed-off, then we got the smoke launcher. Now we got the repair kit. We got the zip line, if you're so inclined, right? That is maybe not the best tool in the game, but it's a criminally underrated one. So lots of good stuff now that you can put in that third slot. And yeah, I mean, I've made my own little video about the repair kit as well, because you know, you can't just repair things. You can just take tires off vehicles and bring them with you in case your vehicle tires get popped later on. That is absolutely massive. How many times have we spoken about situations where if a team had working cars, they could now make a play, right? But they don't. Yeah. The repair kit can negate that entirely.
I think for me, the two pending ones is the repair kit. I think that will be a lot faster learned and adapted to kind of, as we say, the meta. Or there'll be a better sample size of teams starting to use it more so as, again, repairing vehicles, tires, etc. Right? The zip line, I think, is going to take a little bit longer, but I can see that staying around in the context that eventually teams will start learning that there's certain buildings, if they use a zip line a certain way, can get elevation advantage and take that verticality. So I think that one person will take a little bit longer because, especially when you're in a situation like this, you're normally taking on a fight, so you don't have the time to kind of work out whether you can or can't get away with it. But repair kit, instant. See it, put it in the car, take it with you.
Yeah, for sure. If you have the space, it's massive. Late game repairing vests as well, right? We've seen that plenty of times. An angle has been found for empty blank. 3 shots exchanged. Been all too permanent from it. Should be a chance to get the meds off. Should be a chance to reset, and this could be a hot drop that takes a long while.
Yeah. It's probably the bigger thing for me between the FPP and the TPU circuit, which I've learned this year, is the games play as are very different. We speak about a lot about this, but one of the bigger obvious from a viewer point of view is the hot drops are more tactical. People will sort of hold out their weight. They will try and get a full commit. And arguably a lot of the times we see more teams kind of back away, not take the option to go and take it. Good spray will come through from empty blank, as unfortunately the Saints being creative, working the angle down, does get a knock, but it's exchanged straight away. But yeah, sometimes in these situations we'll see easily these two teams part ways. But for me, these guys are fully committed now with a knock.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the circumstances, right? So there's the opener. The damage done. It's a big one as well, because that was the flank, right? That was the player that's completely isolated. I 100% agree. They are more tactical. They are harder to conclude as well. They're harder to finish, because just holding the angle here, like Tim Chick is doing, for example, is so strong, right? And it makes them even less worth it, I would say, because you just have to commit more time and you have less tools to speed up a hot drop. But we're looking at two teams here. We're looking at Empty Blank. We're looking at the Saints. The Saints are last place, dead last at the moment. Empty Blank's on 17. They don't have much to lose, right? They don't really have anything bad coming from this. They can just, the only thing they can have is, well, pop off or it doesn't matter anyways. So that's the only reason we are seeing this hot drop, I think.
Yeah, full make or break, yeah. And don't forget as well, so many teams obviously have been through the circuit. This is week 13. There is only one more left. Unfortunately, it is next week. So if you haven't contended, you want to get involved, you can sign up. We'll get some more information out for you guys and girls in chat. But one more week where you have to work through and get qualified to be at this stage. Yeah, not the stage, but more importantly, we're looking for those top 4 teams, as we keep saying. Inside Sadness. There's no Sadness there, as he gets the opening knock.
The names are absolutely popping on this team.
Oh, the angles
Inside Sadness. Miss You Epilepsy. That's a crazy one. Was Miss Your Voice on the same team as this?
I can't remember. Teddy bear.
Nope, Miss Your Voice is in the same game, also on a purple team. But yeah, this is emotional video game names are coming out.
Oof. Good shotgun exchange. Punch going back. This is ensured destruction, as you say. The argument is at least they're pretty close to zone, so no big rotation. Takes up to 2. 2 blank. On 2 kills. Got the additional body though. Charging forward. They're one best here. AK will pack a bit of a punch, but needs to get the opening. Doesn't quite see the rotational way. The Vector without the extended mag. Fire is rapid. Sometimes people get caught out with that clip. Looks like it's the case. Mindset, the final one. Why not go out with a bang? Panzer in hand. Sees the player. Launches his way through. Doesn't quite get the connection. Puts him down to a one shot. Nearly on the pre-fire on the other side. She's disciplined enough not to play peekaboo.
Quicker reposition for Mindset. And look. But he instantly sees Timtic there and knows, okay, that's not an angle that I can progress on. That's an angle I can sit on. Do some more of tactical waiting. Hope they come my way. Hope they make a mistake. Because unless they do, there's not a whole lot he can do himself.
Final player. Recall station. Not too far away. It'll be on the north. But at least you'll be in zone. What is the fake jump out? Not quite. Double backs. Blank going to be there. But 3 kills. No one else. Everyone else will kind of work their way now towards the centre. Yuling, it's kind of a centre-south. No one in there. Skittles do neighbour there. FaZe Clan obviously have left their drop spot as well. Really intrigued that I'm assuming the contestants have got a glider in the north, or they're really, really split.
I'll have to wait and see. I think this is finally... I say this is finally dissolving. It's not really, is it? Mindset's still looking around.
You said it, didn't you? There's no reason for him to leave, right? At this point, the last is only this is the penultimate game, so they'll be looking to come back. We've seen the Saints multiple times in this stage. They'll be looking to try and go one more time to get and secure their spot to the final stage, because it is the final event of the year. It's been a very... When you first look at all the dates, it looked like a long year, but it has gone really quick. I'll give you that.
Yeah. It has gone quick. Penultimate Player Cup of the year. Penultimate. Another one of those words that casters just love.
Love that name.
And there is that split you talked about, right? There's Akman Sad, super far away from the rest of contestants, and they get an absolute banger of a shift towards them. FaZe Clan as well, laughing here. Well, if it was a glider, I do think he'd be moving a little bit quicker. I feel like he's quite slow there. Maybe he landed to refuel or something, but he's definitely not got a lot of speed on him. FaZe Clan in the center. They are going to take that big, massive compound, see how much they control of it. Maybe even just take all of it, because who cares? They are qualified anyways.
Yep.
What's more interesting is, what does a team like Twisted Minds do, right? What do the skills do? The teams that are on the cutoff, the teams that are in good positions, but that aren't actually qualified just yet.
Go and see. There's that cut-off line. Let's just looking back at that leaderboard. It's coming obviously FaZe Clan sitting on 81. Skittles 57. Twisted Minds 53 in third. 888 have just moved in on 4th place with 44. But as you said, it's only 4 points behind them. This is sitting there in 5th. So this game could be make and break for some of these teams. Some Bushido dropped out. Be cautious. Twisted Minds picking up all of that. Was that a rotation handle?
Yes.
Some of the links? That is disgusting behaviour.
And I think he didn't even have a driver, so he was just literally just drive by real quick and popping Jeems out with the links, just saying, hello, you're going to sleep. You're going to sit this one out. And well, there's the answer to FaZe, right? I mean, yes, we can try and hold it all, but as soon as somebody comes in with enough force, we are going to crumble. And they learned that lesson just on the first opportunity, on the first aggression that came their way.
We know one of the players has got a glider. It's not the one we was talking about. Melman is flying above, getting information from Skittles. They hold the compound. It's like 3-1 split. The players are getting used to kind of the speed. Obviously, the glider, as we said before, has the adaptable speed. So Obviously, you have to make sure you lead those shots correctly. Winkling their hands, keep an eye still towards free side. Sitting that sort of bowl north of them, and he's playable. I like that how crazy does go on the outside. Mindset does get found, so the Saints will fall. 16 place for them in penultimate game. On the action, I feel like it's about to get destructive. Let's get a quick kill confirmed. 888 collapsing down. It's one of these teams like this are chasing 888, so that's a huge game.
Big scalp to take as well. 3 now for 888. Gotta work their way on in. The circle that hasn't been kind to them. Freeside, we saw them take the super central dip. This is not a bad spot to be in until you get mortared or C4'd. So we'll see whether any of that materializes. For now, Skittles would have been the biggest threat to mortar them, and they haven't yet. So looking all right on that front. But 888 have lost another on the other side here, Mark.
Yeah. Stands a loss for them now. Can they get the recall chips? Can they get that body back up? This, if they're in open arms reach of that, no, they don't want to allow them to kind of catch up, right? So, she'll wait and see. Just demands on the other side. Again, scout the gliders. Let's go towards that north compound. Scouting still seems to be a favour towards those zones at the moment, as we kind of neighbour every single time. Skittles going to collapse in as well. Freeside doing the same. Bushido, unfortunately, now on the outside of the zone, so it seems like luck's not falling their way.
No, but it looks worse than it is. There's a big rock on the west of the zone. There's a big rock on the north of the zone, so we know it's not going hard north. We know it's not going hard west. And that just leaves east and south and center, right? So if you're on the eastern side, it's not that bad. You know, at least it's not going to go far away from you again. However, those rocks, they are at the edge, right? So they don't have as much impact as they could maybe have. But Bushido has some really playable lines here into this zone. The question is just, are they going to crumble in the first team fight here, or are they going to prevail? Because they haven't shown us that much yet today.
Let's see. So, sneaky play for 100 ADR. We're gaining some information. I think the bus might be a slight giveaway. As he's chasing him down. This is very much on the outside edge zone now. Back towards the other things. You obviously have to sort of swipe their way in. Celtic does get the opening. Got that rotation coming through. The barrel in hand though. Nearly clicks dry. Has to swap over. He does hurt. Goes down to a one shot there. Espade does find him. MK prevails. Kill, quick confirm, and able to get in his cars and get going.
Huge points. Huge points on a neighboring team that could have maybe been a problem later on. Now they do play into the ridges in front of them, as we expected them to, right? They have some good area in front of them. It's not lock-in massive, right? It's not a free compound to be taken, but they are uncontested for it, and they have space, so they should just be fine for a little bit. Contesters, similar things on the southern side. They have space. They don't have great positions, but they have a little bit of space. Not nearly as much as Bushido. But all it takes for them is one good knock into a team in front of them, and suddenly they can explode. Suddenly they can activate.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's what they need, though. Like, a team that can kind of dial up the pressure, but just need to kind of ignite the fire and get going. Wait and see, though. But now, just on the side, shots in, Vis on the other side. To them, a team which, again, for like a little bit of a match has been lit in. They obviously have been climbing that leaderboard today. Store on the outside edge. Store that top 4. Top 8 is tough, guys and girls. Top 4, super tough. And then deny one place already to FaZe. Like, it's going to be really, really tough to try and work with new position.
Pressure is mounting now as well, right? You see everybody around you already picking up the kills. You see a Twisted Mind's already on 2. You see Vis already picking it up, and wondering, well, where's our points? What are we going to do? How do we even get into this zone? But contesters, they've just got the best possible zone they could have ever gotten.
Love that.
It went as hard south as it could have been. That means they get to chill for another zone. What do they do with that? We'll have to wait and see. ADR, though, they don't get to chill for very long here. Bushido has rolled up.
Need to kill, is that name? Trying to get back into that top 4. Bushido were here, start of the day. 100 ADR, obviously were on the bottom of the leaderboard, but with the victory, a handful of kills, looking strong. Comes over the top. Some damage received. I think they're just trying to figure out if he's still remaining. That car might be a slight giveaway. Now Bushido trying to close that gap down. And the Pico Busters decided to roll into him. Not quite sure why. Boogie has to back off. Get the med back in. Any more utility here from Bushido? They can just sort of swing it around the outside edge. But they've got bigger things to think about. They've got to think about how do they rotate and how do they rotate ahead of Bushido. Oh no.
Well, they're trying to fly on by, but do they know that somebody is already very close, meant to be? Oh, you almost got absolutely smushed there. Now he knows though, and now they know. Okay, that team's gone. Oh, more problems. I say that team's not gone. Wabooki's still behind them. Slide is still getting the shots in. This is not over just yet. This is an absolute mess for everybody involved.
Yeah, Face getting an opening knock as well to 180 yards. So Bushido, again, applying that pressure we talked about. They're trying to find out exactly where they are. They drive through 180 yards, though. They've overstepped the mark and catch them. Not just one, but two. Bushido down to the Ronin final Samurai. So he has to go find center zone and hold out. 180 yards. Themselves back with 4 and more kills against their name.
Not brain user out of the question here, maybe. Not looking like a very juicy res out there. 888 is on the send. Not sure where IM5 wants to go. I'm not sure if he has anywhere to go that's worth going. But Viz has been brought down in numbers, and that means it's going to be so hard for them to work their way on out. If they had the numbers to overpower the contesters, to maybe put a dent in Storm and Request, sure. But in their current spot with 2 players, it's looking desperate.
The contestants got this wonderful split at the moment. The only outside bet is 888 or Storm and Request. If they cause some problems, maybe an opening that can allow the exit for this. But as it stands, they are backed into a corner. Slide on in. And they are going down some numbers though. And the pressure again is being revealed on that side. 180 good start. Falling down to a solo. And I think a slight miscue on the med. 180 will drop.
Good points for Slide though. They've been quiet today. Slid out of the top 4 as well. As Twisted Minds is trying to dislodge a FaZe Clan one earlier. Now trying to close that one out, but so far the util game has not provided any knocks. Not great for FaZe Clan either. They're not the team that can waste a lot of time here.
Wait and see. At the time, I suppose the only time they've got is that now they're going through to the next stage, right? Zone leaves them. Like all comes out, contestants does annihilate Vis, and again, that is huge for that leaderboard. That top 4 scenario we're talking about. Vis obviously trying to chase down and hold on. Just demands only 2 kills, got 4 players. They have got the drive-by with the links. FaZe, difficult to get out of here. There's only a few sort of holes in the wall. They can sort of stack up and go. Gustav trying to provide some pressure, but the Umbrella's just denying the opportunities here against Perfectix.
Yeah, but where does FaZe even want to go? They've brought the cars a little deeper. I get that. That's good. That's never something that hurts, right? To have the cars available. Where do they want to go here? Do they want to go into Go next? Do they want to go into Twist? Do they want to just leave and evacuate entirely? I'm not quite sure what the play is. Maybe the play is just to delay a little bit and wait for this to happen. Maybe the play is just to wait for Slide to come on in, but it looked like they maybe had a plan with the cars. But now they do have a plan, because now the knocks are coming in. Now this is exploding, and if Gustav knocks one of Slide, then this is free for all.
Yeah, my logic is to go for the go next. They didn't want to try and catch the third party. Nice shots towards the molly. Doesn't quite get the connection. Vard will finish it with a grenade. And now we see Gustav on that rotation round. Does catch him. Watching for FX. He's now got the blue against his back. Vard use that car that you say was very available. They're going to be able to get a reload slightly on the utility. Twisted Minds, still under pressure. It's down to Fix to see if he can get another knock here.
Actually big to have that car, right? I said, like, yeah, it's always good to have, but what are they going to do with it? Well, Vard gets himself into a position where they can survive for another little bit longer. Where does he go now? That's the next big question. He takes a lot of damage, even getting out. And Zenka Power comes over the top. The CIS teams have crunched FaZe here. They're not letting them out. It's Slide on one side, Twist on the other. Both of them can use every single point. They're not going to just let FaZe Clan slip through their fingers.
Yeah, Twisted Mind's eager to get these points right. Like, yes, they're in a spot that qualified, but actually ensure there's no more FaZe. They can then become that team on the outside edge and work down. Zone shifts away back towards the southwest corner here. And take on towards Slide. Don't know if they've looked back the other way. Belief neighbouring as well. An example, Store packing a punch with the Lynx. One shot remains. See if we can get another head.
Is that? Yeah, I was wondering. It was Perfectix with the Lynx earlier. He just handed it over, apparently. He just said, okay, you can have it. You're the fragger on the squad or something like that. Handed it over. Decided to use the MK12 for himself. Now, Lou using nades on Zenka Power and the rest of Slide. Opening that one up, and they will reinforce, and they will close that out here. No doubt in my mind. Twist is going to play a good game here. I'm not sure where they're going to go after, because the zone has evacuated completely their side of the circle. But they have gotten the kills already.
Elman backs away, goes towards safety, gets the opening knock though, use the car now as cover. Smoke will be a helping, but not too much. Story obviously holding the off angle down around the ring of rose as we go. Hadouken gets the confirmation. Looking to try and maybe get that res, but I can't see it happening. No, Storm request do get it. Winkley goes down. And then Robins they go. They're massively split here then, taking like solo fights against teams.
Yeah. They've been split the entire game. They've been so aggressive. And like you said, right, maybe that's what they need to pop off. But now, well, they've played with fire. And they are starting to get burnt a little bit. Freeside might peek up any second here and just destroy the Boom in his position. Which dislodge him completely. Storm on request is still a little bit busy because they want to farm Belief where they can. They don't want to let Twisted Minds get away with all these frags. So that northern side is still a concern of theirs. Toolins just finds a solo in a dip as well. No problem. That's another point picked up for Twist. And everybody at these edges is crumbling. Except for Twisted Minds.
But that's mad. 8-8 down. Vis now down. Bushido's out. Slide. Like, the contestants are still holding on at the moment, right? Like, a game for them. For a couple more kills. Yes, Twisted Minds looking to try and secure out that spot. Maybe take that second now, right? But all eyes for me are on these contestants. Like, they're the only team remaining that actually argue. If they get maybe a second, get another handful of kills, they've consolidated down the south. This is a big game for them.
Absolutely. Already on fourth, and they're looking okay to get more here. They're looking okay for the res, right? And then Storm on request is not looking good here at all. GT won't make it into zone. Yeah, Twist is just a little bit too good to let that one slide either. And just like that, Storm on request, they're going to be down to 2, and they're going to be next on the chopping block here for Twisted Minds. So maybe you're going to see the contestants get a third place. Maybe get to see them pop off even more. Every point they get now is just absolute bonus. Every point they get just separates them further from 8-8, Vis, Bushido, all those teams you just mentioned.
Move them down and out. Freeside looking to have a big game as well. Drops coming to the middle. It goes out. Crazy senses it. Backs away. Freeside obviously applying the pressure on the east towards Twisted Minds. Kato pops out. Getting back into his place. And Crazy Lou for a pickup. Carl, though, has been spent. And Twisted Minds now without the zone. Having to fight everything. Heads up fighting forward. No cover. No cars. Just straight up Twisted Minds.
The thing is, if they can live, if they can just hold on for a little bit longer, Storm on request has to move, right? Contestants have to move. Freeside won't be free anymore. They will have to deal with some of these threats coming in. So Twisted Minds will be able to third party some of these fights that are about to erupt. It's just they have to hold on for that little bit longer. They have to hold on for the next 30 seconds, next minute maybe. Not die to the flank. I already see a Freeside flank coming up.
Isn't this
you start losing members to this, game falls apart very quick.
Oh, like Freeside, like they're trying to take multiple teams on. Don't need to make a calculated option and get like, okay, now we've got a knock, stack the north, deny the north, or do you continue to hold like players on the south and risk an opening knock? An opening knock though from Freeside on that south side, that's going to allow the contestants in. That might blow apart the whole game. So it's a very, very fine line that this team's working.
Sorry I'm Crazy is the one that's really just riding the line, right? And he overstepped as well. He didn't only... Oh, Example? Example drops a nade there as he gets knocked, and he does take out Twisted Minds. But Sorry I'm Crazy is giving that knock away that you talked about. I was going to say, like, the positions for Freeside are so good, they're not going to get knocked. But Sorry I'm Crazy was the one who overstepped. Now Marva taken out. And now Skenin just blasted as well. They've given the game away. Contesters are back in it.
This is the thing, this is what I was talking about. Knock in the south.
Oh!
Sorry, I'm Crazy. Re-knock at distance. Conf, though. 9 kills for this team. Freeside had the control. They had the whole side to themselves. But they have been blown apart. The contestants are here. And they are fighting.
Oh, that's so big for them. I didn't really see a way in for them. I mean, you talked about it.
Same.
Just a bit of an overstep from Freeside. And just like that, the game is cooked. Now... Firmly in the hands of the contenders. They got the best spot now. They got control. They got numbers advantage. They should be absolutely okay here. To take this 3v2 and then dominate that 3v2. It's always losable, right? A 3v2 is not a given win, but they should at least lock in the second place here every single time.
Yep, there's another point on the board. There's more on the way of contesters. Storm Request have a duo. It's 3 versus 2 again. Yes, it can go either way here. Position won't help. Let's just have this whole side that they can kind of flank around. Maybe find that position of Freeside where in expose Storm and Request to a degree. Boom. A bit of a jump. I think he might have been exposed as well. But back up. It's on this back line. You can only hold it for so much longer. It's phase number 8. Boom. Well, jumps out a bit of a fakey smoke to maybe draw the attention. I think it's worked. They are looking now back towards that northeast corner.
So the same principles as when we talked about that compound crash on Tego. You got to track him. You got to figure out where everybody is. And once you have a good idea, then you can start making plays so much more effectively. So once you see some of these players, once you realize, okay, they've got 2 bunched up on the ridge. They got 1 on the left. They got 1 anchored. Whatever it is, once you have a good idea, then you can start executing effectively. So now, shots are coming out, nades coming out. They spotted both. Now you can start making the plays. But if you are contesters right now, you don't have to. You don't even have to just yet. You got a lot closer to the middle of the circle. The Boom's got a really good anchor position. They can wait this out. They can wait the 20 seconds. The only problem is Ackerman getting naded. So he's got to smoke out. He's got to make sure he has enough space to be dodging around. He's trying to do that, just that, but he's walked straight into one. Still, I'd still give the advantage to the contestants.
Yeah, based on how close they are towards that dot, right? I know Ackerman is pretty much on that dot, but the Boom, they can kind of work their way around. I feel like Storm and Request might have to kind of swing around on that east side and take that reach.
Look at the smokes.
Again, store open. They're going to need a smoke wall to be able to do it.
And they got nothing.
Oh, but I got an opening knock, though. It's 2 versus 1. Kado's down to a 1-shot. Storms forward, though. Doesn't wait back. He's going to ensure that he's right underneath. Applying pressure here. The Boom likes to dig deep. The nade's good, though, from the Boom. He lives to his name. The Molly does the fall. Here comes the flashes over the top. Reactive has to react, though, to the util Thunderstorm coming his way. Takes a massive amount of damage. He's only got the remaining Molly. Information gained. Goes over the top. Ortez now laying down. Down to 1 versus 1. The Boom seems like he's got the remaining flash. Can he pinpoint it, and can he make the push at the right time, Koho?
I don't even know if it's good. I don't even know if it's good
What
to
is
push
good?
it. But he's
What
hit
is
the
good?
molly. He's hit the molly. That's massive. I think that's even it. Oh, he just got out.
He doesn't
He
know.
just got out by 1 HP, but he gets the first hit off. I don't even know how the angles play out now. There's 1 flash for reactive. Can't be reloading anything. He's got to make the move, but he's got a little bit of low gun. But no, this is not the way to go.
GG's. That was opening. Contestants will take it. It's a 24-point game for them. That is huge. Maths will need to get on mathing. But just want to break down, like, I'm no pro player here, Koho, but for me, Freeside had such a good control on that east side, and they were doing everything right. That 2 in the middle, they were taking the shots across, they were stopping Storm and Request, being flexible. They had 1 north, they had 1 south. Perfectly fine. Outstanding gameplay. The moment, though, they took the fight with Twisted Minds, or they could have taken the fight with contesters, I would have felt maybe communication in the chat should have been like, hey guys, we need to stack on the south or stack on the north, because if we get exposed, that's what happens, unfortunately.
think they also felt like they wanted to maximize points, right? They wanted to play a big game because they feel like they have a lot of catching up to do, which is not wrong. It's not wrong, but once you take more risks, it can come back to bite you. And if Sorry I'm Crazy doesn't get knocked by example, right? If he doesn't get counter-naded or trade-naded, whatever you want to call it, then they're completely fine, and they're probably winning this game. But then the thing is just snowball from there. It's not just Sorry I'm Crazy getting knocked, it's Maver getting knocked, and then it's Contesters rolling over and immediately taking the third player out. So everything went wrong for them that could have gone wrong there. And just to win the game, you're 100% right. They shouldn't have taken that risk. But would a 5-kill win have been enough? Hard to say. Hard to say. Like, they would have been in a really tricky spot for the last game. So they tried to maximize, and it came back to bite them.
Well, we need to maximize time on our break because the lobby is nearly done and dusted. And it is the final match, though, for week number 13. Don't go anywhere. It should be explosive. They might pretty much have been. We'll see you guys in a few.
A new collaboration, movable death boxes, and some changes to Miramar. All this and more as we dive into the update 37.2 patch report. First up, the desert's about to heat up again with a visit from the iconic artist G-Dragon. You'll be able to find an emote stage on the starting island. Special G-Dragon map decor such as a decked out gas station and fan room, and other themed visuals such as planes, blue chip towers, and care packages. And be sure to head over to the G-Dragon truck stop to immerse yourself in the recreated Power music video set. Next up, we're improving the way you interact with some of the objects around the map. You'll now be able to reposition death boxes to get them to a safer location before looting, or use them to lure unsuspecting loot goblins to their demise. Doors can now be opened inward as well as outward, and all those gas tanks you've been wanting to shoot for years will now explode when you do so, leaving behind a large cloud of smoke to cover your movements. More details on where you can see these changes in the patch notes. And speaking of Miramar, the Minas Generalis area has gotten an overhaul this update as well. We've streamlined building layouts for more efficient looting, added more item spawn locations, simplified the terrain and structures, and balanced out the engagements between high and low ground in the area. There's also a new Survivor Pass, the return of Survivors Left Behind and Hungers Left Behind, some updates to Team Deathmatch and Intense Battle Royale, and more. So check out the patch notes for full details. Update 37.2 is here, so drop into Miramar, stack those death boxes high, and kick back with some G-Dragon hits. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
About these events like the PUBG Hot Drop 2025 that we just had is simply just meeting all of these amazing people.
PUBG for putting on this amazing event. It's been so much fun. It's been so great getting to chat to the devs, getting to see everyone playing games and having so much fun. Thanks to all the team that's put it together.
It's great to be here. I can only say to other PUBG players, come here next year.
It's that time again where we have to say goodbye to all the other games. One final game will stand. 16 teams will soon become 4. And Ko, it has become very close. The contestants have stepped up and they've become contenders now to secure their spot. There is a little bit of a gap, but Slide, 888, Vis and Bushido all in grasping distance if they have a good final game.
It is so close between 2nd and 4th. And then it's so close between 5th and 8th. 45, 45, 43, 43. But unfortunately, there is a considerable gap. So if the contestants don't get taken out early, if they get to play another good game, and the Skittles get to play another good game, it's going to be tough. So 4 teams now that have a big interest to be taken out, either the contestants or Skittles, just to make their own way into that top 4.
I have to argue with you on the right-hand side, 9 down to 16. There's no way. There's no way. It's just a little bit too much. And they will be joining these teams. 8 teams have already qualified for the Masters set of the TPP circuit. They've racked up enough points to be secure their spot towards the final stage, the Masters last chance. This week, obviously, is week number 1, where we, as I said, will find our top 4. We'll be back, though, for one last time for next week, where again we will find 16 teams through qualification and invited to hopefully stand their chance to be the final 4 teams to lock in a spot. And the prize, or the eye on the prize, Ko, is being the final 8 teams surviving after that, because you will be taking on the likes of the Americas.
The crowning event of the TPP circuit 2025. West versus West, Americas versus Europe, and Middle East, Africa. Almost tripped over that one. Just EMEA just goes off the tongue a little bit easier. It's going to be big. It's going to be $50,000. That's where you want to be. If you're playing this circuit, that's where you want to go. And we have FaZe and Twisted Minds looking really good at the moment. To go there, or to go to the last chance to get a chance. But everybody else in that top 8, even an 888, even a Vis, Bushido, Slide, they're not in the top 4 right now, but they have a really, really solid chance to make it to the way there.
Got to get through now. The teams, if you have just jumped in, you're like, what's going on? We're on match number 8. The teams to watch on this one: FaZe, secure. Don't worry, they're going to have some fun. Twisted Minds, I'd say secure. They're going to have some fun. Skittles and contesters are just in, okay? But they need to have big games. And as Ko says, they cannot go out early here. And then we got to look for the likes that are looking to try and work their way in. We've got Slide, 888, Vis, and Bushido all looking to try and work their way in. And currently, as it stands, Ko, no one is in the zone. Down on the south side, Military Island is looking where we're going to go. Every team that needs a big game, got to rotate in. Let's wait and see. As teams need to start rotating their way down. As I said, the Military Island, though, is on that southwest side. Lots of water is there to play. Interesting to see, obviously, because we've got FaZe in the lobby. These teams will hold out that east bridge, expecting FaZe to kind of rotate across there. Contesters, though, right in their heart. It's not old school like Team Liquid, where he sort of dropped for a Pachinki, saw a Military Island, get in the car and rotate straight away. Yeah. It's not going to be the case just yet, Ko, but I do miss those days. But they have to factor in that they have to get across that bridge.
They are getting in the cars now. They might still be fast enough to knock a camp by Freeside. But that could be a really bad way to go. A really bad way for the contestants, a really good way for the lobby. But we can see that Freeside is not ready for it. Freeside is not committing for the bridge hold at the moment. I feel a little bit for Viz. That, you know, they're flying their way to Zaki when the zone pops on Millie base. That never feels good. But yeah, we got to keep an eye on that bridge. We got to see what comes on, because honestly, the contesters, I would not be surprised at all if they don't want to cross. If they're just going to make a play into the northern compound, maybe into the Vitality Hill, Russian Hill, whatever you call it, that dip that's right in front of them, and then slowly start approaching this game from there, because why take any rash decisions here? Why take any crazy risks? Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll take it all back. They're just flying in.
Why take any opportunity to not get a kill, Como? That's what you was about to say. You know, when gets that confirmation, Conf does put down Freeside. We've had a better day number 2 are now on the receiving end of a team that needs to get that confirmation through. As I said, the contestants became the contenders now, but they've got to keep contending if they want to stand a chance. I'm sorry, I'm crazy. Nearly getting the pedicure underway, but not going to find the connection.
That would have been disaster. That might have just decided that fight, right? That knock would have been absolutely massive. But now Melman popped up.
And two.
Skinnin finds one. Maba finds one on the other side, but that is traded. That's a 1v2 that gets traded out immediately. And trading is absolutely fine here for the contesters until a third party comes in, right? If this fight stalls for a little bit, other teams will get interested because they see the kill feed and they know this is a team to take out. Just even leaving those kill points aside that they obviously all want.
Do you know teams are playing it from the north? It won't be too long till you see them on that little mini map on that right hand side. Now for two, him and sorry, I'm crazy. Oh, now breaching that compound. Now you can see the team sort of backfilling that position we've come from. So that's going to apply some pressure. It's going to apply a pressure on free side. Contestants, you get pressure 3. Utility, let's go out. But this is a full stop now. And as you said, Koa, this worries me because teams, not just one, we're going to have 2, maybe 3 in the space of a couple of minutes, starting to arrive at this bridge.
Yeah. So I am crazy has no interest in resin there. He's got a lot of interest in looting Marver, however.
I'm close.
But I think the third party shots are going to come in, and yeah, I thought it was maybe going to be Skenin who's going down. It is actually, I'm an Iron Sight Mini. It is actually shots into Sorry I'm Crazy, which is good news for the contesters, but long term, you gotta worry. You gotta worry. They might get stuck here, and they could get surrounded. They might not be playing a good game, and then suddenly they are on the chopping block. They are the ones getting hunted. Just keeping themselves in front of Skittles would probably be enough for the contesters. But so far, looking dicey.
Empty Blank on the other side has closed off this west bridge. So on military side, they're putting a stop to anyone potentially coming over. So looking for kills as well. Contestants obviously might have the only option now to play is to hold here. Heroes move around. Trying to find the angles. That is going to expose the guys from contestants. And the boom goes down, trying to counteract this play. Not much in the way of utility, and they haven't got much in the way, unfortunately, now of ammo. This is going to become about survivability. 15 teams now remain. The Saints have said goodnight.
Not their tournament. Not their day. It is what it is. Somebody's got to get 16th every tournament that you play. But this is the one that we're going to keep our eyes on because contesters are massive in this. 888 rolled up there. You see Motic already on the hill. He's about to walk up on Zero Swag on me. About to get himself a 3B. And then it's no longer a third party, then it's a fourth party. And the more the merrier.
There we go. Looks like Empty Blanks are also starting to work their way across the bridge. So they're opting not to stay there. Still on Crest doing the same. Phase completely pushing over to this side of the bridge as well. So everyone playing on that west. Vampire 21. Hopefully not writing in the Vampire Diaries. Looking for the players that are the breach over. Hear the shots come in. I think that's going to be part of the car. Giving away the sound cues. Dangerous though. The third party, as you say, becomes the fourth becomes the fifth, and it soon becomes the teams getting denied. 888 have the angles. The Vampire will fall.
April gets his as well. And that's 888 making moves. Closing that gap ever so slightly. 3 on the board. It's good enough to get them into 5th, but 5th doesn't get you into last chance. 5th doesn't get you any step closer to Masters. Neither does that C4. Now that the clear has come through, contestants can sweep back in. Take safety in the building. And on the other side of the map, by the way, I think we saw Twisted Minds win an early fight, and then now we see on the map stream, we see Bushido pulling up to try and rat out Twisted Minds. So that's their way of trying to close the gap, but it's not going as they would have liked it to.
Just might have had the opportunity to kind of reset to a degree. We've had a juggle between sort of north and south, third party versus contesters. Try and clear things out. So Bushido have lost one here. Jording's being the gatekeeper. to the transport, the public transport over towards Military Island. But let's go the other way. Let's go towards Novo. Wait to see if these teams expose themselves. There's not.
They rest.
I was about to say there's a recall system here, right? You're able to get those bodies back up here if you remain and win.
Yeah, so Twist already got one of the reses. Lou's already coming back. So they already got that in. That might be why Bushido is here, but weren't there in time to punish. And man, that bridge, it ain't getting any more unclustered here. It's just getting more and more and more.
Look at the bridge map though. Like the guys from Empty Blank are already they're crossed on foot.
Yeah, starting to cross because they're starting to get anxious about this. They're like, nobody's coming our way. What's going on? We have to come over there. They want to get involved.
Dukin, I think he's going to glide up. Speed he's travelling. And he's not moving left or right or doing the wiggle with the boat. Here comes the zone shift. We've got lots of water. No surprise we're going to military. I've seen a few crazy ones. But actually does play back towards the bridge, at least for the crazy first 3 zones. But 180 yards taking that emergency pickup. That's going to help them out from a survivability. They're in a team or in a position to try and get enough points. Back to the Bushido. They are in a position to try and get enough points, but they have to get through Twisted Minds. Example goes down. It looks like Batudin's taken the public transport and he can only watch at a distance as his team now is under pressure. Not just 1, but 2. And Lou's in the air. He's got no gear. What does he do? He gets down as quick as he can. He's got to try and dig a 1 versus 3.
Why did Batu...
Come for a cruise, mate.
What did Batu and why did Batu? That was my 2 questions. I'm not sure what went on there. Because that's not really a ferry that's going to the zone either. That's a ferry that's going into Novo. That is deep blue territory. Now he's taking the shots as well, so Bushido will get a bit of an idea.
So has Skittles. You're now on the bridge.
Are they gonna... no way, they have the angle, right?
They are. Winky's got him.
Oh, but he shot a little too early. Why doesn't he just wait and blast him with the AR? Oh, that could have been so nice. That could have been just exactly the point Skittles needed.
Yeah, he's not going to get that there. That's a tough angle to us. But yeah, not sure. I'm still not sure about the Disneyland cruise as well, but he's off. Belief will fall 8-8-8. There's some big points. Another team annihilated for them. More points go on the board. See, these teams have to get shifted. It's phase number 2. Still have 14 teams, but that West Bridge is still firmly closed as we speak. FaZe found themselves in Military Island, but with no neighbours, worrying what is this ghost town all about?
Freeside's gonna get the res here, I think, right? Skinnin's gonna get a double res.
Yep.
Contestants still sitting without a single kill. They might clear now if they know what they're doing, and yes. I love it. I love it. Not enough people are doing this yet. It's simple math, right? You put a team down to, even if you put them down to a 3-man, now they put them down to a 2-man, one of them goes for the res, you just know you're fighting a solo. So they instantly react on that, and they don't get the first knock, but they do get the trade because it's a 2v1. That brings them back now into another 2v1. Should be fairly doable. Those could just be the points that the contestants needed because every single point brings them so much closer to qualification.
Yeah, got more teams chasing them down, right? Skittles are over on Military Islands. Again, a little bit more of a ghost town, but every team that falls is a placement point potentially. Is a updated placement point system. Not as crazy as the half-price chicken dinner, but it is still updated. So I'm crazy. Just needs to survive now. 2 seconds on the clock before we see the phase go down. And what worries me is they've not looked at the bridge once. So he has the opportunity to scout it now before moving over. Does he go for a full send? No conquest. Will be on the agenda to get over there. I do worry about timing.
How many points are there? Oh, nice shot.
Great spray.
Nice little headshot. How many points is contested on? They must have, I think, maybe they have 3 kills?
I think 3 or 4, yeah.
I think they just killed Freeside, right? I don't think they've really been killing anybody else. So it's either 2 or 3, and I think it's 3. Sorry, I'm crazy. Might be handing them another here. No lethals for him.
team are back though, so he has the opportunity to risk it. The other two. Rico will be there. Oh, the M249. Dangerous
He's delayed
gun.
enough for the flush though.
Yeah. Dangerous gun. But now he knows you're right. It's a 1 versus 1. And there they go. Contestants will fall in full team place. And now, Zoran crazy. Reading the kill feed. Trying to get to the car. I thought he was about to pop the med and lose the tyre. But at least now he swaps towards the smoke. That should be enough now to get rolled.
Yeah. Is anybody really rolling here though? Is anybody really rolling anywhere? I'm not so sure. Still have Bushido Twist on that eastern side. That's a situation to dissolve still. Not sure if Bushido just intentionally hunted Batu down here, because they did know he was on the ferry, right? So maybe they're just trying to lock that one in, but I'm not sure if that's the recipe for Bushido to qualify here.
I thought he was repairing the tank there. It's like, that's not going to move, mate. Give it a go. It's a very might have other ideas. That one looks firmly secure.
But why is Bushido here?
I don't know. I just think they're looking for the additional kill. Like, it's phase 3. Like, now they pick up the remaining players and go. Leave one there. Is that a bait? Maybe. Batonian's pretty smart, though, with these things. You just wait it out. No, I suppose with the car, he knows it's only one other, right? So...
Meddebater's got knocked his own, by the way.
This is painful. This is painful because, yeah, Batonian's like got some 6th sense, 7th sense, 8th sense PUBG. He senses something's not right.
I just counted the players, I think, and he's got a pretty good idea how many left, right? So they're just going to sit here, stare at each other through the wall for a little bit. Batu was having the nade in hand. We know that if he would have thrown it, it would have been the one. He doesn't know that, but he just gets that nade to the back of the building. I mean, if you expect a player behind the building, he's going to be exactly where Crossberg is, right? So
100%, yeah.
There is a solid chance that Batu just lobs the nade out at some point, but for Twist, it doesn't. For Twist, they're in a position where every single point will lock them in, but you don't need to play a big game.
Yep.
Committing so much time, so many meds, a res in phase 3 blue. It's a little crazy to me, and there's that nade from Batu. It's coming out. It looks good if he gets it over the top.
Oh my days,
See
Kobe.
ya later. And yeah, I just... masterclass from Batu, but what is Bushido doing here?
You've got to think, right, it's as you said, there's only one place to go, and that was where it was going to be. I think he just looked like he got the number countdown right, and it was a case of, if it was me, where would I be? And
yeah, exactly.
Stamped and delivered that Kobe to perfection. And Bushido, as you say, game plan, game style. Yes, they're going for points, but was it worth a solo point?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say afterwards. 193 damage nade from Batu, by the way. 193 on a 20 HP opponent. It's easy to say that afterwards always, right? Like, we're sitting here and we're saying that wasn't worth it. If they would have just killed him quickly, it would have been nice. It would have been great. We would have said nice pickup from Bushido. Things don't always go according to plan, but
we got a lot more info.
They've gotten a really good shift. Ouch. They've gotten a really good shift towards that melee base. They're now in a solid spot. They can still make a lot out of this. But if it in the end comes down to them lacking one player to win the game or something, they're going to bite themselves in the back.
1 point or something crazy like that. And that additional player could have made a bigger impact. Empty blank. They were holding out the ridge. They now work their way towards Skittles. Let's extend over. See the second player now. Zoid hiding behind the big gun. The 80-80 gets not just one, but two. Empty blank. A little bit stretched over now. Take it 1 versus 1s. On either side, Loy still on the hold. Is will use the Moy to full effect. The grenade comes out. Over extended slightly. Unfortunately now for empty blank. His teammate knows there's 2 other bodies by him.
RB is out of the question as well. And the Dukin gets knocked. Oh, it ain't good. RB knocked and flushed by Bushido as well, so that's a team you don't want to be giving points to.
Nope.
Not the start that they would have wanted here.
Nor the end. We'll see if they can dig deep again. But yeah, if you're Vis at this point, you're kind of looking that way going, right, no, exactly where Bushido are now. We can kill track and read and understand they're already down bodies now. They're down 2. We need another 2 points we can do. At the moment, they're going to hold. They're playing for that centralized area as well. 100 up. Let's get Senga Power down. They have gone for the late extension over. Zone goes back towards the north. Compound's held in. But, oh, wow. Held out on the south side. Eventually do get Bataldins down. 11th place, but I think there's no argument to say Twisted Minds have also secured a spot. So we're looking for 2 more teams now.
I think we're looking to see what Skittles does out of this. If they can salvage a few points. Do the contesters outdo them? Because I think right now they might be tied. Not even sure. The Skittles might be looking mighty okay, but Slide is technically alive. Biz is alive. Skittles are alive. Bushido is alive. 888 is alive. Everybody that has skin in the game is still in it, except for contesters.
You've got to remember as well, Skittles have got better placement points than them as well. So if it comes down to it and they are tied, then Skittles will take it on placement. So
yeah, Skittles just got another kill. I think they're good. The question is, are contesters okay? Because they are currently in 4th. They should be currently in 4th, I think.
Slides don't need to try and survive. They played the game late. They came over. They were down to a solo, but now outside edge of zone. 888 in. Now driving down on that west side. Collapsing in on the 180 arm. Maybe taking that position away. Vis, on the other hand, though, in the heart of military. On the outside, 888. You get the opening. Quick kill. You get that confirmation. I can't see the res happening. It's drawn a lot of eyes now towards this south or this west side. Vis, on the other hand, they're playing a different game. They've got to be careful. They have Go Next coming on the south here, Koa, so they've got to be cautious about how that works out. And Skittles go down. 10th place for them. I think they're okay. I think it is down to the 4th spot.
90% of the time it will be. But if Bushido wins the game and 888 gets 2nd or something like that, then we might be looking at a Skittles out. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. 888 is a team that you got to keep your eyes on, because I think right now the only team that's actually playing a good game is Bushido, and that is Stratos finding 1 for himself. He doesn't have Esports to confirm it. Maybe he can get a few bullets below the car. He knows as well this needs every single point, but that might be a res attempted for Bushido at least, if they can get the smokes out, if they can get the way to position. So far they're a little disjointed though.
Yeah, they got the... Now, he's a bit further afield, isn't he? But I don't know if he can get over it in time. Empty blank. They're a team that can cause some issues. Limited on ammo. Only got 4 of a clip remains. Slide will fall 8th for them. So they were in 5th place. I think they'll be a bit too short. And the kills again. 888 with 8. Arguably, I would say they're knocking out contesters here. Still in the zone. Until now, the zone shifts away, goes towards that hillside. They've got a bit of an extension, but 8 kills already. It's a huge game for them. I think they'll be looking for this mountain on the center.
6 for Bushido. Brings him up to 49. Contestants should be around 60. So it's gotta be at least an almost win. Or just an absolute pop-off in frags. This in a similar situation, but they haven't gotten those 6 frags, you know? They've gotten 1 for themselves at the moment. They are under pressure as well. They're gonna have Go Next coming their way in a matter of minutes here. Seconds, I should say. 20 seconds until the zone starts moving, so Go Next surely going towards this here. Going to the Wizard Tower would be suicide. But we did see a Panzerfaust in Stratos' hands, so maybe he's able to just fend that off by himself.
Difficult now for 888. We're going to cross the road here. Phase all eyes and locked in into that northwest corner. They make the dash. To be underneath smoke. Mortifar coming in from Storm on request, trying to maybe get an opening on the other side, but the guesstimation, first couple are too short.
They might go into the Panzer.
Yeah, but so they need to make the push forward, and it's 50-50. Which are they go? Looks like they're going for that Panzer, though. Panzer does get 2 As we go down to empty blank, 888 arguably the team we need to keep an eye on here. They're trying to get over. They've lost one. They've lost two. April goes down. It's all the Storm on request causing problems here. Are they checking out now? Bushido, knowing that they're going down, causing some problems. Storm on request. Requesting more kills. Currently on 3. And 888 have nowhere to go. End of the line as they exit the train.
No 888 in the top 4 of this event. No 888 in the last chance qualifier just yet. That should be good news for the Skittles. But what happens to Bushido? I think they got the knock onto Stratos. I'm not sure if it was Acalyptos or an A-Cup. It was somebody with a bolt. It was probably Acalyptos. He hasn't made the move on over. Bushido has. Now he's got to be dancing. He's got to be stepping through the open. He's taken down, surely. But it is Gustav who steals the kill away. That can't be enough for this. Even if Furusuti wins the game here, that can't be enough. They just don't have the frags.
Yeah, they need big kills. We're trying to get it. Denying every opportunity. Someone request. Now being neighboured by the blue zone. FaZe locking on to their next target. Only 1 kill so far, causing damage, but not much else. Oh, playing an FPP, as you can see there. Swaps back over. He's going to try and line these shots up. There comes the zone phase we're waiting for. Unfortunately for Storm on request. It's going to come down to a util. I think there's only one way to go, and that is to take on FaZe Clan.
Smoking up the doors. Smoking up the windows. Getting ready, but Fahad instantly pops a little headshot out. No problem with the AUG. The util is now coming their way, and that I think was 2 blue zones. If they are well placed, they will push FaZe Clan away from these buildings. The question is, where do you go if everything is blue zoned? And that's a classic fix.
Again?
Walking through. James gets down very low here, but one little nade from Vardy around the corner. Yes, that's an angle, apparently. But he wins it out, and he's got another nade here as well. It ain't looking good for Storm on request, and there's Vex. Aggressively pushing through the smoke, cleaning it up. 4 kills for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, and Empty Blank do get 1 as well. FaZe on 4, Bushido on 2, Empty Blank on 2, and Vis still surviving as a solo. Bushido and Vis are the ones to watch. I think our massive is mathing, as we say. Vis we haven't done enough. Doesn't mean the skills would be safe, but we will wait for that one. FaZe Clan.
That's 2 big frags.
Yeah, for Bushido, I was about to say, FaZe Clan should be winning this one out. I think the big question is, how many more kills can Bushido get? 9's huge. Can they take the solo? Do they understand where the solo is and isolate them? Make that 10. That's 53. You're looking at a 2nd place. That's 15 points.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Potentially. It wouldn't be
Nothing's enough if they don't win. They know exactly where the solo is. You can see that Nail Cup wants to go for it as well. But it's not enough. Even if they find Rosuta here, they need to take at least... Maybe if they take 3 down from FaZe and they get 2nd. But just getting the 2nd here, just getting that 1 additional kill point, that wouldn't be enough.
No. Good night. Into the car. Done.
Beautiful.
Yep, charge. That's number 10. 4 on 2. FaZe maybe not with the information of where the solo was. Now identifying that Bushido are split. 4 kills, but it's irrelevant at this point. FaZe Clan, as we said before, already qualifying, already punching their ticket into the last chance. And they're going to now start to spring the trap. This is the big question. Can Bushido stand up to 2 versus 1s either side? They need to isolate, and they need to get an opening knock. A knock on Vex, a knock on Gustav could be huge, but they have to get it.
Yeah. Vex is not going to get caught. He is chilling on the rock. Gustav is the first one that has to move in this entire circle, I believe, but he's got just buffers on each side, right? He's got a FaZe Space Marine that can help him out. If Celtics is a problem, then he has the duo to the south that just control Nail Cup here. And they need some sort of banger opener here, like you said. They need to just win 1v2s. They gotta find opening knocks. There needs to be some sort of mistake from FaZe Clan here for Bushido to get away with it.
Yeah. They're crossing up. They're trying to provide the angles to cover each other, see if they can catch one. Flex does catch the move, so now gets back in his car. Knows he has to get shifting on in. It's obviously one of the first to move as well. Off the high ground, so they lose verticality. They have to go through the tank traps as going to run the gauntlet. Celtic though, I think could be the magic. They have stacks 3
Double
versus
made.
1. Double, make that a triple. It's getting delivered. There's one. Oh, it gets caught in the tree.
Oh, the tree.
The third one's a dream, but no, it doesn't quite get it. Nade back could be huge here. It's going to be too far. Goes underneath. FaZe are charging in. Gonna get caught. Yeah, get caught. That's the final player. Celtic though, try and do anything he can. I think it is done and dusted. Here comes the pedicure, maybe. No, it's going to be an explosive ending for FaZe, and it was an explosive start for them. They seem to be on form. It's one and done. FaZe will claim it out. Not huge kills, but 16-point game to end things. FaZe yet again. Another event, another stage, proving that they might be back. 10 kills for Bushido. Have to count the numbers when it comes down to it.
I think I figured out the numbers. It's 10 kills in the second place is a lot, but it's still too little, too late for Bushido, I believe. We'll see what happened with contestants on I do believe. But they've both done the job today. They both locked themselves in that late game. The gap was just a tiny bit too big. And if we're being honest, over the course of the 8 games, I think it is deserved. The contestants looking scrappy in every game they play, always coming back for another bit of action, for another good late game. We saw that one against Freeside, right? They give them one little chance and suddenly the contestants are all over it. Yeah. Clean up that late game. Absolutely massive. Skills popping off in kills. I think almost every game. Well deserved, I think.
It's good to see skills back. For me, we spoke about consistency early on. They're one of these teams that like, sort of fall into that bracket for me. Like they're good and they're dialed into the event, they look strong. But if something's not right, then they just can't get into the momentum. They can't get the kills on the board. You have a team which doesn't always rely on kind of those placement points, or a team that, yes, they can find themselves in top 4 scenarios, but they always have been a team that gets mass amounts of kills. So when they're not getting the kills they need, when they're having to chase the zones down and or not finding neighbors, those can be that sort of miss. This time, the round has looked good. We will have to obviously have to confirm, but it's been a pretty good week though for the Players' Cup. They're very explosive, to be fair.
This one really confused me. I thought contestants were going to play it so slow, so chill, and then they just fly the heck in. Just no breaks on the contestants train. They made me doubt a little bit because that could have gone wrong. We needed to see a pop-off, and we saw a pop-off from Bushido, but just a little too late.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a rough zone. It's a rough zone to get yourself into that mini base. It always is. Some teams just decided to go for the crazy scrambles on the northern side of the bridge. Contestants were one of them. But in the end, I think it worked.
Yeah. Here comes the final blow. It's good to see FaZe though closing it off. Good nade from Bushido. Obviously, it's a little bit too late. And yeah, FaZe ending how they started though. That's day number 2 done though. 16-point game for FaZe at the very, very end, and it has been an impressive start. Week number 13. There's been lots of these weeks though. Let's just remind everyone how we got here and what we are fighting for. Obviously, these teams are fighting for now the last stepping stone, the last major event at the end. Each week has 2 chances for you to sort of qualify your way through. This time round and next week though, we're only looking for top 4. Why? Because all the points from the Masters Co-op, they've already been decided. The teams have been fighting out for the year, put enough points, and we've already got 8 teams locked in. In a couple of seconds, we're going to figure out who the final 4 are going to be entering that. So the final 4 more, should we say, before the final 4 get decided next week.
The next 4, yeah. And we talked about FaZe and Twisted Minds plenty, right? They both, I think, looked really, really good. It wasn't easy to look as good as FaZe in this event. They win that last one, so maybe it was a pretty quiet win for them, right? It was like what, a 6-kill win or something like that for them. That's for them that's a really quiet game, but that's going to push them up to 100 points in 8 games. So that's pretty damn massive. But Twisted Minds also looking consistently good in this, right?
Good to see them like again, been a hit and miss. I think coming off the back of EWC, really strong. We expect them to do well in PEC. The last game, Antics, was crazy. So it was a little bit of a wobble. The fact they've come back here, Koa, looking strong is good to see. They've kind of re-cementing why they have that name and why they have that kind of a firepower behind them. We saw it just with Baturians with that lane at the end. Just the IQ levels are absolutely huge. Then it comes down to these other teams. Skittles, Contesters, Slide, 888, Visp, Shido to a degree, all showing up. Yes, I would have think some of these teams would have been happy with a bit more placements, but as you said, the best of 8 is tough going. Like, it's really tough going. And then to add the pressure for a top 4 is hard.
And then just the lobby as well, honestly. Like, you go into a fight and you don't know if you're fighting the Saints, who've given up after game 6 and who have nothing else to lose. They're going to go absolutely crazy. Or you're fighting a Bushido, who's fighting for absolutely everything and they care about this and they really want to qualify. Or you're fighting a FaZe clan who's on the exact other side of the scale, who are just not caring at all because they're already through and they've been dominating everybody else. And you don't really know what's coming your way. You don't really know what team you're going to meet in this lobby, right? The discrepancy between situations on the leaderboard is massive, and that's not easy to deal with. You don't know if they're flying over your shoulder or if they're going to be afraid to fight you.
Well, some might be flying over your shoulders, some might be afraid to fight, but we know one thing that is coming our way, and hopefully it should be the leaderboard. I can see it's updated in front of my face at the moment, and there might be some surprises when we get the opportunity to see it, but there is no change at the top. Our top 4 are locked in. FaZe do round off on the wonderful 100. It's like it was planned. Twisted Minds will be second place. Skittles hold on to third. And the Contesters hold on despite a shaky last game. And Bushido, well, they swung. They scored a few points, but it wasn't going to be enough. Not enough remaining in the end. They will close out on 58. And unfortunately, too short and too little, too late.
It's going to sting a little bit, but I think they can still be okay with how they did here. They know that the top 4 is out for the next week as well, so the competition is going to be a little easier next week, hopefully, for them. And they're still in that upper bracket, right? They're still in that upper pack that did relatively well and that gotten themselves very close to qualifying, so they can look at that next week. Other teams, like a Go Next, right? We've seen Go Next do really, really well as well. They got to come back and say, okay, that wasn't it. That wasn't our tournament at all. Like, something went completely wrong, and we got to fix some things.
Yeah, and this is the thing. You have only one more opportunity to thick thing, guys and girls. If you are thinking, how the hell have I missed all of these? And we're on week number 13. We have one final week, though, for the PUBG Player Cup Tour. You can sign yourself up, though. We'll be back Tuesday and Wednesday next week. And as I said, get yourself, we'll get you a link on the website. You just have to sign up. You have to partake in the scrims, do best of 3s. And then if you have enough points, you will join some of the invited teams back here for a top 16, which will be looking to take only the final 4 teams. Those final 4 teams will secure the spot to the EMEA, I suppose the Masters Last Chance qualifier. And as I said before, we are looking to take only 8 teams, 8 of the best to represent our region, proud and true, to take on the Americas to try and close things out. So I'm excited. Big GGs to all the teams that have obviously partaken. I will be no surprise to see a lot of these names will be back next week, Koa.
I think we're going to see a lot of the same next week, yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of these teams come back. We're going to see a few new faces, but especially everybody at the top side of that leaderboard, I strongly expect them back and expect them to be fighting for their second chance. There you go. That was today's teams.
Yeah, nearly, okay. Paul. Nearly.
That's cool, but we've seen them. You've seen them through the evening. We have 8 teams that were already qualified, and we have 4 new names on the list. FaZe, Twist, Skittles, and Contesters have joined the gang for the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, as you can see, only 4 teams remain. As I said, you can sign up. Make sure you and your team can get involved. Even if it's your only one of the event, just get involved. Give it a chance. Top 4. Make sure you'll get to this stage. And obviously, there is money on the line. Don't forget, though, we have more PUBG action coming up. We have, though, obviously, the Americas version of the PUBG Player Tour, which will be going off tonight with the amazing Gibson and Chunks, who will be taking us through to find out who their top 4 is for week number 13. And then we're back at the weekend, though. FPP action underway for the last chance qualifiers. Twisted Minds scraped by, so they won't be partaking this weekend, but we were looking for a top 8 to be going through to the PEC final. Lots of PUBG every weekend, pretty much most days in the week. That's it from me, Koa. I'll let you close this one out, mate, because it's been explosive.
I thought there were more words coming there.
Nah, mate,
Thanks for
that's
watching,
gonna
guys.
go.
That was the second to last PPT. We've got one more next week. See you guys there.